What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the OG Sports Show. It's your boy Chuck.
Slow motion.
And that nigga beat.
We are back, week 7. Fellas, the week before the Super Bowl. We ready?
Yes, sir.
I know I'm ready to get back home and get away from all the foolishness that's going to occur between now and next week before the game starts. I don't want no parts of it. We done been through how many Super Bowls here? 3?
3.
Wait,
Three
no.
since 91, right?
But no,
It's
actually,
my 3?
the 80.
82.
I mean, since we've been, you know, well, you was old enough to pay attention.
Yeah.
I wasn't even old enough to pay
So,
attention.
92,
91.
91.
and then Steelers and
the
Cardinals,
Steelers and the Cardinals.
which is
and then,
09.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now the Ravens and Giants.
Ravens and
before that.
Giants was 99.
No, that was
90.
99. Ravens and Giants was 2000.
2000,
Yeah,
right.
2000.
So this would be number 4.
So this is
Yeah.
4. And
In a pandemic. They're
right,
still out there.
it's gonna be a little
Damn about no
different,
pandemic.
but it's still. I remember in 09 the casino
Nuts.
was ridiculous, and I imagine it's gonna be the same. But they're gonna have to probably do a fire code and limit the people that was in there.
They're gonna have to do
that's coming in
something,
there.
man. But it's gonna be so much money that they're gonna be trying to get. Like I've seen all these parties they got lined up and whatnot, and Whiskey North and
Right.
other places. I ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah, we done lived that, but I remember in 09 the thing to me, I had a feeling that the casino was gonna be off the chain because the casino is free.
Yeah, anybody can walk in.
Right, anybody can walk in.
Don't
You
tell
can
me.
have your drinks.
They charged to get in the casino?
No. I'm just
I'm
saying.
saying.
At
Oh,
the time,
because it was free.
Because they
but
charge
I wouldn't
everywhere
be
else.
shocked that they.
They probably jacked the prices up on that parking, too.
And then
yeah.
too, the machines ain't paying nothing.
Not a damn thing.
They're not paying nothing.
They
this
only
weekend.
taking money that weekend.
Flip the switch, home.
Yeah, they'll let maybe 1 or 2 people win a couple $dollars here,
Right.
So people can see it.
But
But
that's it.
oh no,
It's
The
gonna
house
be-
definitely going to win
the
that
house
day. That
winning
weekend.
it all.
For sure. All right, y'all ready to get into it, fellas?
Yes, sir. Let's
do
go.
it. What the lick read, Slow?
The lick read. We have a Super Bowl as we discussed. We had the championship games last Sunday. One upset, and
Was it, though?
well, I mean, according to Vegas,
Oh, okay.
according to
Yeah.
Vegas, is upset. And then we had one that went the way that they thought it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the one that went the way we
The AFC.
Yeah, the AFC, because that was
Well, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, it went as expected for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I think, with Kansas City, they don't have the greatest defense in the world, but they got a fantastic D coordinator, and they got good leadership. Where Tyron back there in the back, and they almost exposed your boy Josh Allen a little bit. He looked pretty average in that game, and Mahomes just looked like Mahomes. Like it just like I don't know that damn Tariq Hill, but he's another one that looked like a badass kid that's just
Yeah.
fast as hell. You can't get your hands on him.
What they clocked him on that play 28 miles an hour.
something like
stupid,
that.
man.
Some shit like that.
Just stupid.
But the thing that I took away from that game was Buffalo shot themselves in the feet. You can't go down and kick field goals against the Chiefs.
you
No.
cannot.
You got to get touchdowns at first. They were moving the ball the first half.
Yeah.
Just driving up and down the field. And then you kicking field goals. I'm like, man, y'all going to lose this game.
Yeah, once they kicked 1 or 2 field goals, they didn't have a chance.
That's it. Their offense makes it better for their defense because, like you said, the defense is not great, but they're good enough. Like we discussed in the last episode, hold them to 20 to 25 points.
We got this.
And you on no level of football, that's good.
No.
No,
but
not at all.
with an offense like
that's,
this.
that's under 25 under 20 points is Super Bowl championship defense level.
right.
That's Ravens Bucks level, right?
Exactly.
The 86 bear. That's that level.
Exactly. And you as a defense can say, hey, we good for letting them get 26.
We all right.
Right.
And then what forces what I noticed too when I watched Kansas City, what their offense forces the teams to do stuff that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And then it causes turnovers.
Yeah, because they think they're gonna have to. Everybody goes in. My assumption is they go in thinking it's gonna be a shootout,
Right.
And they gotta shoot out and do things they're not normally do instead of sticking to the script,
Right.
Like if Buffalo had a better running game, then they probably would have had a slightly better chance. They'd be able to hopefully try to keep Kansas City off the field. But once they started trying to shoot down the field with Kansas City, and they was the drives was stalling, and stuff wasn't working, then you just giving the ball right back to them in decent field position, which they don't even have. They halfway need decent field position.
And they're not getting any pressure on they weren't getting any pressure on Mahomes either.
None.
Like as good as that defense is, as good as the pass rushers and the defensive linemen that they got, even the linebackers. I mean, Buffalo, that's a good defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Kansas City made them look like, oh, we go down here and do what we want to do when we want to do it.
When we
We're
wanna
going to run the same little tight end toss play in the middle of the field in the red zone.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't going to stop it.
Right.
I'm sitting there like, they're about to run. Kelsey finna motion, come on in this little shovel pass every damn time.
But the thing I noticed about Kansas City is that every game that I've watched this year, they've shown somebody else something different. Like there's always a handful of plays that they'll have in their repertoire in the game. You like,
That you
okay,
didn't see.
I haven't never seen that
Right.
before. You know what I'm saying? They like Andy Reid and Airbnb got so much in the stash. I feel like, and I'm pretty sure come the Super Bowl, the Bucs aren't going to see anything that they've seen before. They may see a couple of plays here or there. They obviously probably going to drag Tariq across the field again and make somebody chase him. But I'm sure they're gonna see some stuff that they didn't see that first time.
Yeah, and we'll kind of get into it when we pick the Super Bowl, a little bit more deeper analysis.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good game. But the Chiefs just when you look at them, you're like, Jesus, man, what are you gonna do?
Who do you cover? Who do you double?
Even if you get pressure on this motherfucker, he still gets the ball off and hits a wide open receiver.
And then he can maneuver out the pocket. It's like when we discussed it last episode too. It's like pick your poison. You want to play zone? I'm gonna kill you. You want to man up? I'm gonna really kill you.
Yeah, because you ain't got no man that can cover Tariq. You don't have a strong safety that can, or a free safety that can carry Kelsey. Kelsey gonna body whoever they put on him and catch everything you throw his way. And then you got a Hardeman, which you don't realize how fast he was until he came around on that jet sweep last week. Like it's like you said, it's pick your poison. What are you gonna do? Who you gonna stop?
Is Sammy Watkins going?
Yeah, he's back.
Is he play? He's back.
He's practicing.
Okay.
Now what they gonna do?
I mean, because if you look at it, the other number 11, he dropped a lot of balls, but he's still decent.
Robinson.
Robinson. And then the kid from Tampa, he'll come in and catch a couple passes, Pringle. And then, of course, Kelsey.
Yeah.
And now you go add Watkins in there. It's then you got Le'Veon Bell on the bench.
On the bench.
Like, so, we'll get more into it, but
The saving grace I have for this game is their offensive line is beat up.
right.
Yeah, they
The
lost their
offensive
star
line,
tackle.
they both of them.
Yeah.
I think the right and left tackle.
Well, the right was already out.
Right was already.
Fisher
Fisher went out during the game. So that's the only saving grace they got is you got Shaq Barrett and JPP feasting on some younger, maybe not tackles that don't have as much or not as at the caliber of Fisher and Schwartz. I think
that's the name.
Yeah, Fisher and Schwartz. They're not at the caliber of those two.
Right.
So
Right.
it's going to be interesting to see.
Definitely.
then we had the NFC Championship.
I called it.
Tampa
Go Bucks.
went to Green Bay and gave it to Green Bay. The game probably could have been a blowout. Tampa let Green Bay back
Let
in.
them
It
back
made
in.
it.
Tom Brady kind of let him back in it.
Well,
Second
yeah.
half.
To me, the deal breaker was the touchdown before half with 6 seconds
Oh,
left.
man.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know Tom Brady. I don't know if he audibled out of that or he was like, "Look, we got 8 seconds. We take this shot. We get it. We don't. If we get it, we score a touchdown. If we don't, Sucker has been kicking his ass off all season long."
Man,
So-
that looked like Green Bay was shaving points to me. Bro.
Man, bro, you can say what you want. Scotty Miller got behind King, and it was.
I don't
He
know what.
let him. He stood there and watched him go by, and then let me chase him down.
Chuck, you play DB,
Thank you.
right?
Yes.
Was 8 seconds or
8
6
seconds.
seconds?
You
8 seconds
You
left
ain't
in the
expecting
game.
that.
8 seconds left in the half. And I guess the call was we in man coverage, which that kind of scratched my head on that too. How come the safety wasn't over top? Because the thing is, the Bucks had to either throw something short
to the sideline
to get a field goal,
Right.
or touchdown, or
Right.
try for a touchdown.
Right.
He sitting there looking in the backfield like he had a safety. Maybe it was a blown.
That's mistake
coverage.
number one. Because of the situation, it's 8 seconds left. Regardless of what the play call is,
nobody gets behind you.
Right.
that's number one. But number two, there's no reason for me to look in the backfield.
No.
There's no reason for me to look back there because nobody.
Tom Brady is not running, and they're not running the football.
Whether we're playing man or zone, there's no. If I got somebody in front of me, there's no reason for me to be looking in the backfield. All he should have done was turned and ran to the end zone.
That's it.
Period. If you're gonna throw it to him and get him catch him in front of me, it's my job to make the tackle and stop him from getting to the end
Right.
zone. If you're gonna try to throw it to the end zone, is jump ball with Scotty Miller, and one of us is gonna have to fight for this ball and get
Right.
it. There's no I'm gonna let you catch it and run. No, I'm not gonna let you run by me to catch it. For what? That's just horrible defense. And then when I was frustrated, upset, like why would they make that call defensively? It don't even matter the call.
You're right.
The circumstances require you to just get your butt to that end zone and not let him get by.
It's the D-line and linebackers' job to handle what's going on in the back.
You shouldn't even be looking there.
You shouldn't even be looking.
But it was, like I said, I don't know if he audible out of it or Brady saw something. They went for it. It was gutsy, and they made the call. They made the play. He got a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
You take that touchdown away,
It's a
Green
different
Bay
ball
wins.
game. It's a different ball game for sure.
You know. So and then the 4th and goal. Two things. Aaron Rodgers, you could have ran the ball and scored, or at least got
it close.
closer to go for it on 4th and goal.
Yeah.
What are you kicking a field goal for with 2 minutes left in the game? Like you gonna get the ball back?
When you haven't all day. I get how it kind of maybe sucking himself into it because Tom Brady, I think they said in the second half he was 7 of 14 with 3 picks. And
Can't trust that.
you cannot trust that.
No.
Like he gonna pull a rabbit out of his ass at any moment. There's no way you can think, okay, we'll kick the field goal. They're gonna go 3 and out. We're gonna get it back. We're gonna make a stop. You ain't made one all day.
Right.
well, when I heard LaFleur explain it, it kind of made sense, but I could understand his reasoning.
I didn't even hear it.
I ain't hear. What did he
So
say?
basically, he said was either way they were going to need, if they got the touchdown, they just would have needed. They would have been down.
They was down.
If you got the
8.
touchdown, they
If
would have.
they got a touchdown,
He had to
go for the two.
Go for
Go
two.
for the two. And if he didn't go for the 2-point conversion, either way he would have. If he would have got it, it would have been down 2. And either way, a field goal ties or wins the game, right? So he was like, "Well, let me get the field goal now. I got 3 timeouts, 2.5 minutes, and a 2-minute warning." Tom Brady's kind of, the second half, he hadn't been playing good. We've been getting to him. So our defense, he put it back. He put it back on his defense to get a stop and
Right.
get them the ball back. So that was his explanation, which I kind of understood it. But at that point, it's like it's the last game of the season. Why, like you said, you got Aaron Rodgers. I don't.
Yeah, to me
Exactly. You don't have a rookie quarterback.
It was a breakdown on from Aaron Rodgers' point and on the coaching standpoint.
Yeah, to me that sounds like stupid logic. Like you're basically saying, "I'm gonna need 2 scores to win the game," instead of saying we're gonna score a touchdown and we're gonna get a 2-point conversion. He went into it thinking, just in case we fail the 2-point conversion, I can get these 3 points in my pocket right now.
We can listen to it again, but how he explained it was he was going either way. He needed a field goal,
Right.
And with,
He outcoached himself.
with this-
then.
with-
Y'all thought.
yeah. With
Because if you look, when they scored that touchdown before, and they went for 2, the dude just dropped the ball.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
That's it.
he just dropped it. So I'm pretty sure they had a play that they probably designed for the 2-point. I
They
would have
better
rather
have
take my
one.
chances with this possession I got now to get the 8 points, other than trusting my defense
Yeah,
to get a
they
stop.
was in 4-down territory,
Right.
Especially because of where they were on the field. That's 4-down territory. Like, I can see one thing if it was, 4th and 15 and they're on the 40. Okay, let's try to kick this and at least get something, and
Right.
maybe we'll hopefully make a stop. Bro, they were on like the 12 or the
Yeah.
10. You got to do that, man.
it was
You
fourth.
can't.
It was fourth.
Or was it 4th and 8? I forget.
It was
It was-
fourth.
they were probably
And,
on
it was
the
4th and 8, and Aaron, when he scrambled, as you see on the video, he could have possibly
He
scored.
could have probably made it to
He
the
could have
corner.
probably made a touchdown.
Yeah, I looked at that because I wanted to make sure, just based on my assessment, could he have made it? He did have, I think it was a
I
safety,
don't think he
safety
could have
and
made
linebacker.
it,
He
but
probably wouldn't have made
he
it to
would've
the
got
corner.
21.
He got close.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, he could have done And he could have, if he takes off and they're coming for him, Aaron Rodgers is good about right when he get that line of scrimmage, give him that quick pump to get them off their feet, and who knows what would have happened? You know what I'm saying? But that's definitely 4-down territory. Even if he don't make it there,
that's why I say that. That's why I say that's on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
that part is on Aaron Rodgers. The decision to kick the field goal is on the coach, and the decision to put everything back, and then your defense failed you too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so all the way around, they shit the bed on that one.
He did. I think,
No, you can't really. In my opinion, you can't really put all the blame on Aaron Rodgers. You can't really put all the blame on the coach. You can't put.
No,
all
it's
the
a
blame
team effort.
yeah, it was a team loss.
Yeah,
there was ways that game could have been won and had on all levels.
Oh yeah.
Which comes to kind of a discussion me and you had. Well, we in a discussion, so we in a group chat, and me and him was going back and forth. And since you the third, and won't even have no idea what this conversation is about,
We're gonna let you be.
we're gonna let you be the referee.
and possibly the deal's breaker.
Okay.
Right.
So I ain't gonna pull up the group chat. So basically, the conversation was who. So basically, Chuck said.
Well, I piggybacked off something somebody else said.
On what our other homeboy said.
Our homeboy said that
He's a 49ers fan.
He's a 49er fan. He basically said the defense for the last 2 weekends in New Orleans and Green Bay has carried the Bucs to these last 2 wins. I agreed. I said that, yep, you're about right. I said because Brady played pretty average in both games, especially in the second half of Green Bay. He tried to give it away. Mm-hmm. There was nothing he did special. I said for the most part, the touchdowns that they scored was on short fields, and the defense gave them opportunities.
Especially in the Saints game, the 4 turnovers.
So I said the defense. I said they basically owe all those wins to the defense in a sense because that's who carried them to the win. They shut down Drew Brees, although his arm helped him out a little bit, and they shut down Aaron Rodgers when they needed to. So you got to owe it to the defense to get them to the Super Bowl.
So I had my issue was with his wording. This dude said the Bucs, the defense deserves all the credit.
I said my exact words were, I said they owe.
It don't matter what his exact words were.
Yeah,
he said the word all. The word all was in
my exact words were they owe it all to the defense for getting them to the Super Bowl.
Right. I wouldn't say all.
Right.
And that was my point.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all because the offense still scored the touchdown.
That's exactly what I said.
So, because they could easily settle for field goals. But I do agree with you because even Sunday, the turnover that they got from Aaron Jones, which is nothing wrong with that dude.
Right.
Quit faking. You just because you had fumbled twice. He was like Little League. It was a pride. It was a pride.
Real suspicious.
He got popped.
It was pride.
Oh, I can't come back out here.
But that turnover was a big turnover because it led to a touchdown.
And that's all I was saying was, I'll give you that the defense, for the most part, they carried.
Right.
Or they did more. They really put the offense on their back and got them there. But you can't say like I had an issue with the word all because
he ran away with my word all, which I didn't necessarily mean.
It was out of context.
Right. I didn't necessarily mean.
That's what I was trying to say. And we kind of agree. I said I understand.
Yeah.
Cool. The defense played a major part on them getting to the Super Bowl. And I'm like, as a Bucs fan, I can recognize that because I've been saying they can run the ball and the defense is coming along and the offensive line holds up. Tom Brady doesn't have to do much.
Right.
And I'm saying, and then I was like, well, it does. You got to give them some credit because they are getting these turnovers and they're turning them into touchdowns and not field goals.
Right.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference. Like that's the difference between leaving the playoffs, like the Buffalo Bills,
Right.
and going to the Super Bowl.
Going to the Super Bowl. And they're going to need that offense
Right.
next Sunday.
They're gonna need it, and like I said, I am a Buccaneers fan through and through, but I'm not a fanatic. Like I can recognize when they do wrong and when they're messing up and when they're not playing good.
Right.
If they can run the ball, it's gonna come down to two things: how they can control the clock and run the ball and keep the Chiefs' offense off the field, and if Barrett and JPP can get to Mahomes. Because if they can get pressure on Mahomes with these tackles being out, I think they got a real good chance. They got a real chance of being in this game.
It's going to be a chess match between Bieniemy and Andy Reid versus Todd Bowles.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
what is Bowles going to do?
And then without the tackles, how are they going to? Are they going to the short game? And Todd Bowles got to know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's not get into too much for us.
Right.
Save it for our pick 'em segment. Won't give them too much.
But that was our discussion. So basically, what you're saying is we both right.
You both right.
Okay.
You can't say all.
I can't say all.
Can't say all.
You gotta understand that comes from a defensive player, man, who has some struggling offenses.
Oh, yeah.
all through my career.
Yeah.
So like, man,
I've been there with you.
bro, I done came off the field, getting the turnover, and then the offense get the ball
Yes.
right back. Let me get another one. Can y'all do something with this one? Now we
Yes.
gave y'all one, y'all gave it
Yes.
back. Do something with this one.
Dude, that was my senior year, dog. We played Gaither. We was up 33-0 on Gaither. Offense comes back, second half gets the ball, turns the ball over. Gaither goes down, score a touchdown. Offense get the ball again, turns the ball over on like the 5-yard line both times. They came back and beat us.
That's it.
No. I
Yeah.
played that on coaching.
I don't know. Hey, I don't whatever. And then we played Countryside. We lost that game 14-10.
Guys, you holding 14 points. You can't get.
Man, I hit this dude so hard. I hit the running back. I shared the guard. I just saw him. I hit him, and all I heard was, ugh. And I heard everybody cheer, so I caused a fumble. Lost the fucking game because of offense, dog. Offense came back and turned that shit over. Man, that was so fucking frustrating.
I've
But
been there so many times. That's why I'm always on the defensive side.
yeah,
first.
man. Hey, I feel you.
It's frustrating because, I played offense and coach offense, and when you can't get it going,
It's frustrating.
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's
Especially if your
frustrating.
defense is out there playing.
Playing.
Yeah,
Right.
And
They keeping you in the game?
And I played on my junior year and my senior year. The number one year, number 2 defense in the county.
Right.
So yeah, it was rough, bro, for us to sit back, and we had some good offensive players.
Yeah.
Like Jamal Anderson went on to Boston College. I mean, he had a little issue with some gambling, but he went off to Boston College. Juggy used to run the air out that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had a decent offense, but our defense was just that good.
And then, like me, I play receiver. It's I'm dependent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can run your routes all day. If the offensive line ain't doing it, the
holding up.
quarterback ain't, you just
Sounded like a fool.
Yeah, man.
you turning around, you getting your break like
No.
Yeah, and that's what you say. Even and that's so true on all levels of football. It's a team game.
yeah.
If you just got one aspect of your team that's clicking and playing, but the other two, we talk about offense, defense, and special teams.
Changes everything.
If 2 of them are not doing what they need to do, or like you said, they can't get it going.
Right.
Your defense can only hold up for so long.
It's the ultimate team sport. And
Right.
That's why I get so frustrated when one person gets too much credit. It's the ultimate team sport.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure it'll come up in our further discussion about the person that gets all the credit.
Yeah.
Like
Kill
but
I love my Bucks, but man,
It's ridiculous.
it is.
We're gonna save it for later on. So.
all right.
What else we got going on, bro?
We had a pretty bad domestic violence case with former Seattle Seahawks offensive lineman Chad Wheeler. The thing about this case was the lack of attention it's getting
From the media.
from the media. It actually, and I didn't realize it. It happened Saturday, and it just came out a couple days ago, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because he got arrested Saturday, got released Tuesday
And
on bond.
where was this information? Because we're in the land of social media and information, so I'm pretty sure.
It was out there. It was on TMZ. Like that shit. Like Saturday, almost Saturday or Sunday.
Were they the only one reporting?
TMZ? TMZ stay on everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So TMZ pretty much, I think, was the first one to pick up on it, and then you started seeing it pop up on social media sites.
Now, I have ESPN app, and I'm
do
pretty
too.
sure both of y'all do. Now,
I follow Adam Schefter.
ESPN will tell you about some dumb junk. I didn't get an alert telling me about this case.
Bruh.
I didn't hear anything about it until
I saw it on Twitter.
it was right before he was going to get out.
That's where I saw it.
That's where I saw that. I
But
didn't see
I
it
saw
on
it
TV.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah, I didn't see
He
it on
damn
TV
near
though.
killed this girl.
And what stands out is why. Because he told her she needed to bow down to him, because she didn't. That's when he jumped on her.
Right.
And they blamed it on a bipolar episode or whatever. So that's why.
Said he wasn't taking it. He hadn't been taking his meds for like 4 or 5 days or something like that. So they blamed it on a manic episode.
Man, my thing is this. My issue is this. Okay. like for one, like you said, the story didn't come out right when it happened. Why not? Like I know everybody was on it. Everybody in the organization was on it. Everybody on as far as news on that side was on it. Why it didn't come out before, I don't know. When it did come out, did any of y'all see a mugshot for dude?
No.
No, still ain't seen one.
I haven't seen a
perk
mugshot.
walk.
You see him with his
Seahawks uniform
with his jersey on, his hair blowing in the wind. Why we don't see a mugshot?
But and you see her face.
Right, you
Beat
see
up,
her first
beat up face.
bludgeoned, as they say. We get to see a picture of her on a hospital on a gurney, but he's in uniform. It's just the way that they depicted him in this situation. To me, for one, it's well known the NFL don't give a shit about you putting your hands on your wife. They don't care.
They don't.
Right.
They don't care. But usually once we are able to see a victim and see what they look like, then they scramble and try to make changes. Like it was not a big deal for Ray Rice to knock his wife out until we saw the tape.
Saw it.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a big deal for the kicker in New
New
York
York Times
was beating his wife repeatedly until she told somebody. You know what I'm saying? Once she told somebody and they got out, I think they suspended him for a game or 2 games or something stupid like that.
and it was like the end of the season.
Right. So to me, it's just crazy because Antonio Brown was called a thug over some of the stupid stuff that he was going through. He didn't get any type of look to say is he having mental health issues, anything like that. When this dude is being portrayed as, he wasn't on his meds, and that's why this happened. I think our trauma, and I hate to make this a race situation, but it is what it is. Our trauma is viewed differently than theirs.
It most definitely is, and fuck it, make it a racial thing because it is.
Yeah.
It clearly is. That's why I don't shy away from it, and I don't care because when you clearly see how he beat this woman, the accounts of everything. So he off his meds, he tell her to stand up and bow down to her. She says no. He starts to choke her out, twist her arm, and basically makes her pass out, makes her unconscious.
Yeah.
She wakes up to him in the room. She runs in the bathroom, locks the door. He gets in the bathroom, picks the lock, and is trying to apologize.
You're still alive?
Oh, right. So forgot. After she woke up and he's standing there, he's like, "Oh, you're still alive."
Like that wasn't the plan.
Like that wasn't the plan. I meant to kill you, and I'm surprised you're still alive.
My bad.
So my bad. She runs to the bathroom. Like that shit don't make it no better.
No.
So all of that, and you don't get no statement from the NFL. You get a sorry statement from the Seahawks. He's not portrayed in the, like, you don't hear nothing from the media at all. Ray, and I'm not condoning domestic violence. Kareem Hunt pushed this girl for saying the word nigga. He shoved her down. That was it.
He was suspended for half a season.
And waived.
Because it was on tape.
It was on tape.
And waived.
Yeah, had to find a whole new team.
Right. Ray Rice. And that's all they talked about. Ray Rice.
That was on the media all outlets.
It was on Good Morning America.
Yes.
All day long. They talk about it. They bring it up and they show it. So
he had a job since.
Right. So yes, we're going to bring the race element into it because it's hard not to. So these black players get in trouble and the tapes come out and everybody sees what's going on and you play that shit all day long. White dude, 2 of them that we know of, the kicker for the Giants times, and then Wheeler, do some horrific shit. Nothing.
Well, even like what Chuck brought up last week with the Urban Meyer situation, that coach was beating the hell out of his wife. And that story went away.
Covered it up.
That story went away.
And yes, there are 2 factors here. The NFL, if none of this shit makes to the media and doesn't come out, the NFL is not gonna say shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
Until if it happens to leak out, now we'll release a statement.
Now we got to do something.
Right.
They don't care. So I'm not surprised by that.
Right.
And then the racial issue from these other media outlets and sports outlets and everything else, they don't cover it the same way.
No.
Just like we see when there's a white guy that kills his family, they got family pictures of him.
The dude in Colorado killed his wife and his 2 children, and anytime you saw him,
it was all 3 of them sitting on the couch looking all real family,
or on vacation or something, and he's smiling.
Right.
Not his mug shot, not nothing like that. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Motherfucking lady in Texas votes when she thought she could vote. put her picture up there.
5 years in prison.
5 years in prison. And you wonder why motherfuckers out here marching
Yeah.
Right.
and talking about shit, because the disparity in every aspect of life is it's one side gets everything thrown at them, the other one, oh, okay.
And see, and then some people use the excuse, well, he's an unknown offensive lineman. I don't care. He's an NFL player. Yeah, Ray Rice was a bigger name.
He's been in the league 3 years.
But they right though. I know what you're getting at. They right though. Your talent allows you to get by with certain
Right.
activity. You know what I'm saying?
Tariq Hill beat his pregnant wife.
Ray Lewis helped cover up a murder. He was on the cover of Madden not long after that.
Yeah.
Frank Clark did some shit to his girlfriend before he even got drafted.
Right.
Right.
Bruh, if you good enough, you can get away with
You
murder.
get away with it.
Literally, you can get away with murder.
You
if you're good
can
enough.
get away with it.
Yeah.
But and then the thing is, he has a history of this shit. Like they back in when he was in Southern California, back in 2000, I forgot. Anyway, back in 2017 or whatever, the cops were called because he's in there smashing windows and punching walls in front of his girlfriend and his kid, and they had to take beanbag rounds to get him down.
You can't tell me this dude has not showed nothing since he's been in the city.
This ain't the first time he's put his hands
He's been
on
a
her.
model
You know what,
since.
though?
The first words out of her mouth when the police got in the door, oh, he's bipolar. I don't fuck that.
All that mattered was he was big enough and strong enough to be a backup offensive lineman in this league. So we'll let all that.
He wasn't even a starter.
No. But he was good enough to be a backup, so they overlooked all that stuff you just described that happened when he was in
he's
school.
not on the team anymore. He's a free agent too.
Right.
His
So-
contract ended at the end of the season. So, that's
So what are they gonna do? The question is, are you gonna ban him forever?
Man,
No.
I mean, you got to do.
he's
him,
got to go on the commissioner's list like
Right.
all the other ones.
at the very least, he's got to get the Josh Gordon treatment. Josh Gordon just couldn't stop smoking weed. Now he got to come back and beg for an opportunity to play every year. My man, he got to go through the same
Look,
thing.
we're not gonna talk about Josh Gordon. We could do another episode about weed. 'Cause
Yeah.
That motherfucker, that's
Well, he's done.
like Stephen A. says, you can't stay off the
weed.
weed.
It's got to be more than that.
Yeah, he
It
has
probably
a
is,
serious
dude, but
drug
come on,
problem.
man.
But I
Come
think
on,
he's
dude.
done now because
He got it.
they reinstated him and then say, no.
Yeah.
So I
Didn't
think
he,
he's
I thought
done.
he quit on his own.
No, the NFL
He
they
has to.
reinstated him. Then they said, you know what?
You doing too much.
Yeah.
But I think he's done. What'll happen to Wheeler is he'll be on that unofficial blacklist like Colin
Yeah.
Kaepernick.
Right.
The memo will go out. Do not sign this guy.
Period.
We can't ban. We're not going to officially ban you from the NFL.
But don't
But
sign.
you're not going to get signed.
Yeah.
And that's
And it's only because we saw the pictures of the girl.
that's it.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's the
Had he
only
just got
reason
arrested and none of them pictures got out,
They'd have been overlooked.
I go on ESPN.com and I'm just looking at the front page. It's
Nothing.
nowhere. Nothing.
Nowhere to be found.
Nothing. I
It's
didn't
sad,
check
man.
NFL.com, but
and shit like that just infuriates me, man. Like
You and me both, man. I know, especially because we got kids coming up in this world, and it's rough every single day to see that we got two different justice systems. Two different corporate systems. Just everything is kind of. It's just. All these weapons formed against us, and we still here. You know what I'm saying? But it's still crazy that we had to go through all that stuff. You think about, you talked about the, the differences in the sentencing for the woman voting or whatever. Think about a story a few years ago. A black woman got lost around the Capitol in D.C.
and died. They shot her.
She had to make a U-turn. They shot her They shot her the car 26,
Yes,
29
with her
times.
kids in the car.
Yesterday, or was it yesterday or today? They found a guy pulled up to the Capitol today with a 9mm, 20 rounds of ammunition, some stop the steal paperwork. This dude evaded police. He resisted arrest. Did all kind of stuff. Arrested without incident.
they bought him some Burger King.
Arrested without incident. But this black woman was lost. Tried to make a U-turn. They shot her first. Asked questions later. And she had a child in the car with her.
It's like my homeboy D said, when you wake up in the morning, a black male, you down 21-0.
Already.
You come out the door.
Already. I told my son years ago,
Yes.
10 years ago, I said, when you walk in the door, you already got strike one. I said, when you open your mouth, don't give yourself strike two.
Right.
It's just the way of the world.
Well, we'll see what happens, and unfortunately, it's just a bad situation. Pray for the victim that was involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
All right.
That couldn't be my sister, man. I'd be ready to kill.
Oh man.
Oh man, one of his teammates put on Twitter. He was like, "Man, I used to, love you. We were, brothers." He's like, "But you got to see these hands now when I see you."
Right. You something gotta have.
I ain't mad
That
at him.
happened.
Fuck if you on no meds or not. Like I heard somebody say, just cause you on bipolar meds, meds don't stop you or make you an abuser.
Right.
No.
And I was even listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. They was kind of talking about it. Steve was like, "Dog, I may not." He said, "I may not. I don't know, mental health stuff. I get. I ain't no expert on it." He's like, "Dog, you just ain't start abusing people.
That was in you.
That was in you. No,
That
ain't
girl
no."
probably wore ass whoopings before.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
God,
was the first time.
I hope not. But when you, like you say, go back in college, you got a history of this shit. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's a trauma that a lot of our women have to go through, man. And that's that.
Crazy.
Man, let somebody do my daughter like that. I'm going to fucking prison. I'm going to prison. I'm going to prison. I told Catherine the other day, I said, let anybody steal the joy from any one of my kids, I'm going to jail. You're going to have to raise them by yourself because I'm going to kill a motherfucker.
Well, you better get ready because somebody's gonna try the system, as we used to say, once or
Easily.
twice. Y'all are still small. They got a long way to go.
That's why I got to stay in shape because I can't be running trying to chase a bitch.
Man, that
People like, you saw your old ass daddy over here.
you saying that, man, made me think of something today. Like, so I had an OG moment. This is when I really felt like I'm really getting old. I need to get myself together.
I say that every day now.
Man, so we in the car. This was a little while ago, and my youngest son usually sits right behind me. My oldest son behind his mama. So I don't know what they was doing. They was getting on my nerves, and I turned around. And you got to spin. You got to turn a little bit. I want them both be able to see my face, so he can see me, and I want him to be able to see me too. I turned around,
Nick got
and I said, "Man, I'm about to get back here and slap the shit out of both of y'all if y'all don't knock it off. I don't care who's doing. I don't know what they was arguing about." I turned back around, man. I started seeing stars, different spots. I was like, God damn. But I'm making these threats. I need to get my shit together. I'm like, these two niggas can jump me if they wanted to, and they would probably win.
I thought you was gonna say you turned quick and got a crook in your neck.
No,
Turn back
man.
around.
I turned that circulation so bad. Well, I turned around and stars was everywhere.
Hey, but you can't let them see it.
No.
No, you can't.
They'll never know it.
Nah.
But after that, I was like, man, let me get up and get myself together because I'm making these threats.
man.
They'll be able to back it up.
Oh man.
I mean, I got 1 year old, almost 2 year old trouble because them little two jokers do not listen.
Oh, man.
Look at you, laugh, and run off.
I can't even think about that stage anymore. It was
God
too
bless
far
you.
gone. Yeah, for real. God bless you. I'm not gonna help you, but I'm gonna pray for you.
Like my house can be chaotic at times, but 3-year-old, he gets he gonna have to go to anger management 'cause the tablet freeze up on him. He go to stomp on the tablet, throw the tablet on the ground, screaming.
Oh yeah, he crazy.
That's technology, man. It's
That's my dog Roman, right?
Ro-
My
but-
dog Roman, man. He middle child, man. I feel for him.
Roll, let me get a bite. No problem. He'll share. He'll help you out. But man, when that little joker get frustrated.
He middle child, man. I feel him, dog.
Oh,
I
God.
told you what he gonna go through, man. He needs some extra care, extra love, bro. Anyway,
all right. Prime time. Deion Sanders, the head coach of Jackson State University.
yes, sir.
Is getting a little hate from the other SWAC coaches, especially from his now new rival at Southern, Coach Dawson Odoms.
What did he say?
Basically, he was saying, well, I guess the questions was, one of the questions were, since Deion is the head coach now, does it intensify the rivalry? He's basically,
Like the rivalry.
Deion or no Deion, the rivalry
still a
is
rivalry.
the rivalry.
That was a stupid question.
But and that's what killed me about media. And we're talking this story, but I know things are taken out of context.
Right.
If you're the head coach of a university and you keep asking me about another coach of another university,
I'm gonna get tired of hearing that shit.
it's irking.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Coach Odoms probably don't have nothing against Deion. It's just that. But then when I say something, or if I come, it's going to come across as
Hate.
hate,
Yeah.
and then that's the story.
Right.
You know.
So basically, they said they wouldn't and I guess where it's being kind of blowed up is when they were asking a question, he wouldn't mention Dion's name, so he wouldn't say his name at all.
I get that, and I'm gonna tell you why I get it. Because they're trying to make Jackson State. They're trying to make Dion bigger than Jackson State.
Yes.
Like Dion is the greatest corner to ever lace him up. I give it to him from now until somebody proves me otherwise.
Ain't no Lester Hayes. You know how
To
people
me, he's the
always-
GOAT.
Yeah, he is.
All right. So, but at the same time, Dion is just a rookie in this coaching game.
Right.
Like, bro, you haven't proved anything yet. So why are we
Right.
talking about somebody who ain't done anything yet? And Dion is not bigger than any HBCU.
No,
he's not.
And
They're
then,
making him, though.
Right,
Right.
And they're making him too. And then because of the high profile recruits and transfers he's getting,
Right.
you know, they're like, well, he's bringing all these players to the SWAC and to Jackson State, and I guess it was Arkansas Pine Bluff's coach was
Right.
like, we've been recruiting. We always get good players. It ain't just like, you see what I'm saying? Like they
Yeah.
trying to make it seem like Dion's bringing all this talent and bringing all this spotlight to the SWAC, which he is.
Yeah.
He most definitely is.
But they all, like you said, they all come across as hating.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't know if I think it was the Alabama A&M coach. It was like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's good for the SWAC. He said every time I turn around, I see Dion riding in the truck with a sub. Then he hanging out the window with a sub.
Right.
Then he's in a jacuzzi with a sub. I was like, hey man, you know, but he wasn't hating. He was like, man, it
But
is
those
what
coaches are recruiting too.
Yeah.
So how can I sit up here and big up another coach in another school?
Like you said, there's a way to go about doing it. Like he said, you can say, you know, it's good for
for the
the
conference.
conference as a whole. It's good
Right.
for HBCs as a whole that we have this kind of attention.
But don't get it
But
twisted.
don't get it twisted.
Right.
I've been here. I've been doing this. We all have been doing this. So he's not bigger than anything that we're doing.
No.
They're not doing anything different than we're doing. But we do enjoy the attention that the schools are
Right.
getting, and we hope that more kids. This is my response. I hope that more kids come to HBCUs because of the attention that now we're getting. So
It was
Right.
really
there's a
just,
way to go about answering it.
it was just per the article. It was just really just two coaches hating.
Yeah, but and the thing is, Dion and those coaches are recruiting some of the same players.
For sure.
And if I'm on the fence of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Jackson State, and I hit Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and say, "Yeah, Dion's doing a great job over there. It's great." Then he'd be like, "Well,
That's where I'm
maybe I
going."
need to go over there." You know, so
Yeah.
it's you're not gonna ask. Let's say, just for the hell of it, let's say McVay, Sean McVay goes to Tennessee and coaches. Nick Saban is not going to answer questions about Sean McVay.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, you're not going to ask, so Sean McVay is in Tennessee. How do
I'm
you
not
feel
gonna talk about it. So quit asking.
But again, it goes to me. It goes back to the approach and how you respond to it. I'll
Right.
give you an example. Okay, my son, like I said, he plays elite travel ball. So he had these two travel ball organizations recently have been trying to pitch for him to play for them. Okay, I'm not gonna mention them, but there's two different places, right? So the one organization he hadn't really had a chance. He hadn't had a chance to really be amongst them or be around them because they're brand new. They're starting up new. This other one, they've been
Established.
been in the game for like 5 years or whatever. So they said, well, come to our tryout so we can kind of give you this pitch to see if you want to play with us. So, I take Chris my son to the tryout or whatever. We get there, just a normal, baseball tryout or whatever. So at the end of the tryout, the dude comes over to my son and he's like, so are you going to play for us? And my
Wow.
Son, and my son was like, well, I still need to think about it. I need to talk to my dad, and my mom and kind of figure out, what's best for me. He was like, well, you came here. Like, why don't you just decide now? Let me know if you're gonna play for us. Chris was like, I need something to think about it. Give me some time or whatever. And then he asked him, what other opportunities do you have? So my son,
So he didn't talk to you.
no. He was still on the field talking to him. I was outside the field waiting for him to talk to him, but he didn't. So my son tells him the other opportunity he has. Oh, so then he goes to, well, they can't do this and they can't do that, blah, 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 whatever. And that immediately turned him off. And then when he came and told me, it immediately turned me off.
Right.
Because you don't have to tell me what someone else can't do if you want me. You tell me what you can do. And to me, if I'm a recruit, I don't want to hear what Arkansas, Pine Bluff, or anybody else can't do. I don't want to hear what Dion can't do.
Yeah, I don't want you to bash.
You tell me what you can do, and then we won't worry about what's going on over there. And then when I get over there, you tell me what you can do. So
I have
that's
a
why I think
problem with that guy because Chris is a minor.
Right.
The decision is yours anyway.
Right.
You shouldn't be on the field.
He should be
Be on the
recruiting-
field pressuring me.
He should be recruiting you.
Right. Well, the thing of it is, I know they trying to approach it at this point, because he's 17 years old, so they want to try to give the kids opportunity to kind
I
of
understand
make some of their
that.
own decision, which I let him make it. Like, bro, it's up to you. I don't care. I gotta pay him anyway. I don't care who you're gonna play for. You just tell me what you feel like doing, and we'll leave it at that. So they want the kids to kind of be able to speak for themselves and approach things as an adult, which I get. But yeah, you pressuring him in a sense to make a decision right now on the field.
And he's told you several times.
He told you no. Like, why are you still going? And then you're going to talk down about the other opportunity he has. When that wasn't necessary.
That's just going to make me want to go see what his other opportunity talking
Right.
about.
Right.
Since you talking down about
Right.
him.
And like I said, it goes back to the approach. Like I said, if I'm one of the coaches in that interview, yeah, that's great what Deion is doing, but let me tell you what we're doing over here at Southern. Like, I'm not going to keep talking about somebody else because of their name. Like, are you interviewing me about Southern, or are we interviewing about Deion Sanders?
Yeah.
And talk about how, like you said, this exposure is bringing exposure to the conference.
Right.
Appreciate
We
it.
already playing a regular season in the spring.
Right.
So now, because he's here, that's going to bring eyeballs to the game.
Because I'm like, yeah, Jackson State got all these recruits. What if we beat them?
The thing is, you can get all the recruits in the world, but you got to coach them.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, remember Ole Miss got in trouble for buying players, and what that got them? They didn't even play for the SEC.
Tennessee said they're going to buy something.
Yeah.
Tennessee put in McDonald's bag.
That's got to be awful to get caught cheating, and you got nothing to show. Let's say if Alabama comes out and they say, Alabama, y'all been cheating. But we got 6 rings. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Did you think we were not?
Right.
So it all worked out.
Just a
You
little
get
bit
caught
class.
cheating and you going 6-4, 5-6.
You giving bitches money in McDonald's bags.
That's telling you the players that you paying. Like when Ole Miss was buying Tunsil and Nikamuchi and all them guys, they must be just at Ole Miss just chilling.
Had to be.
We have no expectations, and
Yeah.
y'all give me bread.
Because you paying the wrong players then. You can't, you giving the wrong dudes money because you still losing. But you know what, though? He got caught cheating, and they gave him another job. He's in the NFL. He's talking with the Jets
Yeah.
right now.
I go, man.
You get fired for cheating in college, come on to the NFL.
You know, we
See, we had to make it about Rich. Okay. All right.
It is what it is, man. It's the way of this world.
Fucking doubles. Anyway, man.
It's sad, man. It's
That's-
frustrating, but sometimes you got to try to smile at it just to get through it.
right.
Everything that happens kind of always goes back to, at this point in my life, always goes back to, well, is he black or is he white?
White. Oh, he's white. Oh, well, I expected
It
that.
makes sense. Like the girl who stole the laptop from a speaker of the house, and they give a.
It said she was trying to sell it to a Russian.
She was trying to sell it to the Russian. They let her go home with her mama.
Yeah.
Like, really?
And Khalif Breyer
a book bag.
book bag that he didn't do.
That he didn't steal. He goes to Rikers Island for 3 years.
The boy kills himself.
Black woman used the wrong address to send her children to a good school.
Lock her up.
5 years in prison. White lady pays USC.
I think.
So no, the black guy that was actually at the MAGA riot, who was actually still in jail while everybody else was getting.
Right.
Bullshit.
He thought he was immune.
Ridiculous. And it go, like I said, it goes back to old girl from Full House paying USC for her kids to go
Yeah.
there.
She
She got 2 weeks. Black woman used the wrong address. She gets 5 years. It's where we live.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth
man.
Rock landed on us.
We was bamboozled.
Let us
Let's
straight.
trade. Run them up.
That's the end of what the licks read for week 7.
The woke what the lick reads. All right, y'all know what time it is. It's time for What You Own. And this is our music segment. I got it right this time. This is the part of the show where we give you guys some of the albums that we kind of grew up on listening, and we give you a chance to check them out. Some classics, and the stipulations that we set when we first started the show was anything pre-2005. So pre-2005 we consider is classic. So this week, I said you started us off last week, right?
I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
He did. I'll
Chuck,
jump out
what you
the
on?
window first. It's kind of on the theme a little bit. because you know a lot of
Yeah, god
people,
dang.
a little bit.
All three wearing gray shirts. Now you finna drop this theme.
That
on
was
us.
a
Go ahead.
coincidence. For real, y'all.
So it's like we coordinated
It was
it.
not planned.
We planned it. What color shirt you gonna wear to the table? Gray. Me too. I'm gonna wear my hoodie.
Yeah,
I
man,
got a
but my-
long sleeve shirt.
But my album was Ice Cube's second album after he left NWA, Death Certificate. Death Certificate came out 1991, I believe. Yeah, I was on my way to high school at the time. I think it was the summer before high school when I was able to get it. And it was a tape. And I remember it was the life side and the death side. Man, I had to listen to it again just to refresh my memory of how good this album was.
Steady mopping on it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Steady Mobbing, A Bird in the Hand.
Right.
No Vaseline.
All you folks that are mad about Ice Cube and the stuff that he did just recently about the president and stuff, go back and listen to this album.
I think that was whole taken out of
it was taken out of context. If you listen to A Bird in the Hand, he was telling you all that what he felt back in 1991. Right, because he gets into politics on the album. He gets into us on the album, and what we need to do for ourselves.
Just in the NWA hard.
Bruh, I was gonna get into that later.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But that is No Vaseline is the greatest diss record of all time. You can debate your mama. Debate your mama. I don't want to hear it. The greatest of all time.
You sound like me.
I don't know, man. Hit him up.
Ether.
No.
Hit him up.
No.
Ether.
I'm sorry.
That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Like,
Bruh, when Ice Cube, you go back and watch. I love the fact that they put it in
Straight Outta
Compton because you get to see all the behind
Right.
the scenes of how it happened. Cube was mad. They called me Benedict Arnold.
Let me break it down for you.
Okay, God damn, I'm glad y'all set it off. Used to be hard, now you just
I think
wet
it's
and soft.
second. Ether now is like a verb. I ethered you.
You remember? You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, I
No
feel
Vaseline
you.
No
is dope.
Vaseline is.
I feel you. No Vaseline. Cube took on 4 cats by himself
That's
and they
true.
manager.
That's good. Yeah,
And
that's
they
true.
manager.
That's true. But Nas took on the whole label.
The label was really just one.
It
Well,
was
yeah,
Jay-Z.
yeah,
Ether is a close,
That's true.
Very close second to No Vaseline. But anyway, like I said, that album, I probably didn't have no business listening to it in 9th grade.
It's dope, though.
Because I listened to it again recently, and I was like, man, some of this shit, like, we gotta Me Too some of this out. Like, like Ice Cube was out of control on a couple of these. Like, there was a song we talk about, I forget what it's called. Giving up the nappy dugout.
Yeah.
We talked about going to the house, and the dude answers the door, and he here to see her daughter. Q was out of control in that song.
Out of pocket.
Out of control. She was a minor.
Well, you notice how some music out when I was driving from Atlanta, and my music's on shuffle, and the song by Rick James called 17 came on, and I was like, Rick James would be in jail with this song.
me and my homeboy, shout out to Dak from 99 podcast. Me and Dak had a conversation about this not long ago, and we talked about how when we all was teenagers, I hate to use the word pedophilia, but
Yeah.
we all know the young girl that was going with the dope boy.
Right.
She might have been 14. The
Yes.
dope boy's 25, coming up to the
yep.
school to pick up. We
Yes.
all know that girl.
Yes.
Or those girls.
Girls. Yeah.
And it was just
We all know those dudes.
It was just common knowledge.
Yes.
It was.
It was common knowledge. Like,
We just be like, man, why you with this older dude, this old cat coming back up to the school to
but
pick
we
you
knew
up?
why.
Right.
Because the old dude got a knot in his
Got
pocket.
bread.
You don't.
He got boom in his car.
Right. So
We
you
on the
think
bus.
about a lot of the songs during that time. You listen to them now. You're like, man, that is out of control. But
Out
then you
of
think
control.
back, you know what? There was a lot of older dudes messing with minors that we grew up with and seen with our own eyes.
Still happens to this day.
Still happens to this day,
I mean, look at Big had the song. I like him young, fresh, and green.
bruh.
Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat is the worst
young,
But you ready?
What?
You ought to
We
be-
singing that shit loud as hell. When we was young. Look at that like, wait a minute, Keith.
We all
She's young.
Backstage,
She's not ready.
underage, adolescents.
BBD.
adolescent too. The fact that he put that in the song,
They say Buster wrote that.
I believe it. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves for even listening and going along with that.
But it was dope.
It was, but it was bad. But you think about it now, I'm like, this is like I was listening to Give Up, Get Up. I'm like, man, that is terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
Horrible.
I see why my parents didn't want me to listen to this.
Right, I get it now.
I understand.
Yeah, but that's it for me. That Death Certificate,
Dope
like I said,
album.
To me, a lot of the stuff, if you go back and listen to it now, it's all relevant today.
I got
A
you.
lot of it is.
Dope album.
I'll go next because I usually always go last.
All right.
Because you kind of veered off the path from where me and him was going.
My bad.
No, it's okay. Yeah, no, not you, him. This guy.
Oh,
This
yeah.
guy. We come hood, street. Come Mr. Old Softy here.
Oh, Mary J. Blige, My Life last week.
Anyway, I'm hard. And just like I'm hard, this group came out with their studio debut album back in 1993. Two of the South's rap pioneers, icons, because everybody from the South know about Ball and G.
Yes, sir.
8 Ball and MJG coming out hard, 1993. Listen,
That's dope.
man,
Ball will come out hard
with a gangster lean.
Living like a pimpster, taking every day off.
Man.
I was turned on to MJG and 8 Ball in my freshman year in college with my roommate from Tallahassee. He had a Nissan pickup, two-door. It was a low rider. This Negro had two 18s in the back.
Yeah, he had some noise in that thing.
That motherfucker was loud.
He probably get a new battery every 6
It was
months.
clear.
It was clear.
Wow.
Wearing that battery
Or
out.
was it 118? I have to ask Marcus what it was. Anyway, and he played a lot of MJ. He played MJG and 8 Ball a lot. And it was it the second album on Top of the World? No, not on Top of the World.
That ain't not Space Age Pimpin'.
No, Top of the World was
Top of the World
Top
number
of
two.
the World, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
Space Age was on.
Lay It Down was on Top of the World.
You hoes lay it down.
So that's all we be riding through USF, going over speed bumps, lay it down. So then, back then we had the CD cases where you keep all the little black cover where you
Right.
keep all your CDs. So I, listen to, he had all the 8 Ball MJG albums. So coming out hard, man, when I tell you, for a debut album, it don't get any better.
No.
Because you go from the
It
first.
does, but
it
somebody-
does.
somebody's gonna get us
It
if we
does.
say
But
that.
when it
Yeah.
comes to when you think about icons in a certain genre or a
Yeah.
certain region,
Right.
For a couple unknown cats
unknown
from
cats
Memphis.
from Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then Tennessee, they kind of, in my eyes, as far as when it comes to rap, they laid that rap foundation later for 3-6 Mafia to come on.
Oh, yeah.
through,
Oh, yeah.
For Project Pat to come on through,
Yeah.
and everybody else that Young Buck, even though he was with G Unit, he was from Tennessee.
Still from Nashville.
Still from Nashville, right? So, the first episode, my favorite song is Armed Robbery.
Yep.
When them niggas talking about,
You know, they redid that song a couple albums later.
yeah,
Yeah, in
I
my
seen,
lifetime, they redid it.
The first one though with the Mission Impossible sample.
Yeah.
Nigga talking about flying through the air on my way to Jamaica. Thinking about the money that I took from the faker.
Yes, sir. I got a
Let
funny.
this fat nigga get away. He gonna get away from y'all.
No, I got a funny story. I'm gonna tell. I don't want to cut it to your time. I'm gonna give you. I got to tell you this
I
story.
mean, you was in Tennessee around that time.
right. So my little brother worked at Kmart. All right. So I had to give him. He didn't have no car at the time. He was still in high school, so I had to give him a ride to work. And a lot of times, anytime me and him would see somebody that looked like the broke version of a celebrity, he'd be like, "Man, look at that broke ass Chris Tucker over there." He was that type of shit. So we pull up to Kmart. I'm finna drop him off, and we see this little fat dude walking in the store with some braids. Man, look at this fake ass 8 Ball. This broke ass 8 Ball right here. Me and him laughing and shit. We get alongside of him. That is
8
8
Ball.
I let my brother get out because he gotta go to work. So I sit there and wait for him to come out. So he come walking out. And I went over to him, dapped him up or whatever, and told him we would just listen to him in the car or whatever. I was like, bro, what you doing at Kmart? He was like, man, that's my bus right there, man. We on tour. He's like, I had to take a shit. It's like, you can't take a shit on a tour bus. So long story short, that was around the time when him and MJG were doing solos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It
so
was
he
like,
was-
it was like 98.
Yeah, so he was on tour by himself.
He had a dope solo album.
They both
did.
had dope
Yeah,
solo
yeah.
albums. The first
So
one,
he
yeah.
gave me a little picture, and he autographed it and stuff.
Is he?
whatever.
He looks. Is he tall? Is he short, tall, average height? I think he's
Eight
short.
Ball is 5'7" on a good day.
I knew it.
On
Oh,
a
so
good
he's
day.
a short dude? I thought he
Little,
was tall.
bruh. He literally looks like a bowling ball. Like he looks like an 8 ball. Like
So he real wide?
he was real wide at the time, but bruh, he like I said, he might be 5'7" on a good day.
Wow.
Little cat, but that was just I was just like I said, it was funny to us because like, man, look at this broke ass 8 ball. Like, all you see is a dude with braids and he fat, he walking in. I'm like, shit, that is 8 ball.
He said he can't. He can't. That's Mr. Big.
Yeah.
It's funny how
Not because
short
of
them
my
guys
size.
are
Mr.
when
Big,
you really
Mr.
see
Big.
them. I remember I seen Outkast in Daytona, and it was some little old dudes. I was like,
I saw Andre at the airport in Nashville one day. Another funny story. I was finna talk shit about him too. Me and my brother-in-law, we returned a rental car, so we had to stand in line. And I see this nigga at the corner of my eye with his hair like going out this way, and he had on. It looked like
Ain't no
a
telling what he
jacket from the
had.
Revolutionary War, like the long ones, the ones where they did the parades.
Right.
In, you know what I'm saying? And he had on some cut off jeans that was cut off by at capris, but they was frayed, like really, really frayed at the bottom. I said, where is this nigga going? Oh, shit, that's Andre. Left my brother-in-law and literally ran to go catch him. And it was crazy because we was literally just listening to, we used to listen to ATLians at the time.
right.
And he just had on a backpack, and that was it. He didn't have no luggage. And as I caught up to him, he was talking to one of the dude is a limo driver, just out there waiting for people to come and get a ride or whatever. And Dre was like, man, I'm trying to get to the studio, man. Can you give me a ride? I was like, yeah, man, I'm waiting for somebody else, but I'm going to give you a ride. Let's go. So anyway, I dapped him up and told him, I was a big fan or whatever. He was like, man, y'all got a new album? I'm like, bro, I got every album.
Dude.
So he was like, yeah, man, I'm finna go to the studio and do a song with Mystical. I was like, what? I was like, damn. Ended up being, they did a song, I think it was on the Wood soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
With Mystical and Outkast
Oh,
together.
okay.
He recorded his
I
verse
don't
in
even know if I ever
Nashville.
heard that song.
Yeah. He recorded his,
I
his
hate
thing is
that
called
song,
Neck of the Woods.
I remember that. I remember that
They
song.
recorded in Nashville, and he was like, I'm just here to record and go back home.
Okay. Wow.
I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tennessee. So yeah, MJG, 8 Ball MJG coming out hard debut album, man.
Classic.
Classic album. Just they both can rap, and not too many times where you got both of the artists that can spit.
They
Right.
still had Jerry curls on that
They
album, too.
they
Yeah.
press and curl and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And not only spit, they was conscious with their
right.
Yeah.
I mean, they it's conscious you can't be talking about pimps,
Right.
and hoes, and
But they had
macking
some.
and
But neither one of them, I don't think, get the credit they deserve for
No,
how good
no,
they were.
no, they don't.
No.
They don't.
MJG, hands down, is one of my favorite rappers of all time.
And my favorite groups all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, next to Outkast and Good Mob, MJG for me is like number 3.
They run the tight race with UGK for me.
Yeah.
Tight race with UGK. Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. So that's me, man. What you got this week, Slow?
All right, man. You young bucks. You young bucks don't know nothing about what we used to call the slow jam tape.
They don't remember that BET commercial.
No. This is when you take all the slow songs that you like, put them together on a cassette tape, and then you youngsters don't know about having a stereo. Double cassette, because when one tape stops, the other tape starts.
And if you was good, if your mom and dad had a little bit of change, they had an equalizer on there.
Oh,
You
yeah,
adjust
you gotta
the
hit your
treble
level.
and what-
Don't
get
touch
the
my levels,
You gotta get
man.
your levels right. Don't mess with you couldn't mess with my daddy's levels.
But anyway, this group had their second album. In 91, they came out with Forever My Lady, and they followed it up with a classic,
Oh man.
Diary of a Madman. And this is Jodeci, 1993.
Man.
Columbia House CD for me. That's one of the ones. I got too, now, let's see. When you said that, I was like, yeah, I got Columbia House for Silk, Mary J, and Jodeci, and Bodyguard soundtrack.
Bro, I never forget it because I think that was like '93. I think when it
Yeah,
came out.
93.
And man, I was going my senior year in high school. So everybody, you know what I'm saying? It was around the time, Hilfiger was big and everybody was trying to be clean and whatnot. At Jefferson, we used to have a competition called the lip sync, where you get up there.
Stop. So
and
you
can lip sync.
So you went one time from being Eric B.
The Jodeci.
to Jodeci.
I didn't get in on the Jodeci. Some other partners did, and they looked ridiculous because they wasn't.
But you know what's crazy? Jefferson been doing that for years because my brother Kerry, they used to do the lip sync.
No, lip sync was the shit.
It was a huge event at Jefferson.
It was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
We did it at King too. We called it synchronicity. So it was just big.
Same thing.
We
But
didn't
yeah, it
do
was a
that at
big
the
deal.
once.
But I remember somebody doing Jodeci, and they looked horrible, but they were getting all the screams because of the song.
Right.
It was crazy, but that was a hell of an album, though, dog.
It was a hell of an album.
You
People don't realize that without Devontae, there would be no Timberland, there'd be no Missy
Right.
Elliott,
No.
there probably wouldn't be no Pharrell. Like that, he was all of them wrapped into one before they even came.
Casey and JoJo, but
The person I used to always like, what the hell is Dalvin doing?
Everybody thought that too. You know what? Dalvin did a lot of, as I've learned over the years,
Right.
Dalvin did a lot of the music.
And
with Devontae.
I learned it
Because
too.
he could play the drums, he could play the piano, he could play, like, Dalvin was a very
Right.
talented cat.
But when you looked at the group,
look at him,
at the dynamic, you're like,
just a pretty
you
nigga
just
in the
there.
group.
Yeah.
he the one to get all the hoes.
Exactly. But that album was so dope, and it just brings you back to the time when you actually had to talk to a girl.
And we would talk to him. I've sat on the phone for 3, 4,
Sat on
5
the phone.
hours.
caking.
You know, Jodeci could talk for you.
You go to
know.
sleep.
Had that.
No, you go to sleep.
Had that long ass cord going from the kitchen.
Going
to
for the
bed.
kitchen.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Then, you upgrade to the cordless phone.
Mom,
You
who's
know.
somebody on the phone? Mom, you on the phone?
Don't want to click over.
Jodeci playing in the background. That was one of them voicemail songs too.
Oh, yeah. Remember those?
Cry for you.
Remember those days?
Fiendin was the one. Yeah.
This B. I can't come to the phone.
You gotta
right
turn it down before you get in there. And then when you get finished, you say, "I'll call you back." You turn it back up again. Man,
those were the days. Those were the 90s. No smartphones.
no man.
We had beepers. And I was thinking about beepers the other day. Beepers was one of the dumbest things ever because somebody's paging you and you got to stop somewhere and use.
You get to find a payphone. But that was
It
the
was
way.
just to tell you that somebody wants to talk to you.
You're right. But without them, you wouldn't have
I
known.
wouldn't know they
That's
want to
true.
talk to you.
Yeah. I was happy. When I got my beaver boy, you couldn't
Oh,
tell me
man,
nothing,
what?
baby.
Brother, I don't know why this white boy in my neighborhood, I don't know, so he was Spanish. So I don't know why this Spanish dude all the way around the corner, and my mom and them didn't want me to get one.
Mm.
But I got one anyway. I had the little smoke color one, the charcoal one. Just laid out of the case.
Yeah, boy.
3 buttons. I'm sitting in history class one day. I got it on my hip. We ain't supposed to have them in class.
Right.
That was my junior year. That motherfucker went off. Like, ooh.
You didn't even have it on vibrate?
It was on vibrate.
Oh, okay.
But when
it's
it
still
hits
buzz,
you like,
right?
oh, what?
Yeah.
You ain't used to that. So, man.
Man, let me tell you something about the beepers, dog. You talking about yours going off, okay? So, I'm gonna tell you the type of nigga I was. Like, I had my beeper on. Let me be somewhere, and it's a girl close to me or something that I remember. Never forgot. I was looking at tapes one day, finna buy some tapes, and the chick walked in. She was fine. She was standing next to me. I reached down and
Turned
turned
shit
it off and turned
turn
it
back on so it beat.
Oh.
Pull one of these.
Looking important as hell. Remember how Kane was when he was in school on Minister Society? I did that. I ain't gonna lie.
We all did that. Just to let people know you got one.
Yeah, I'm important,
Yeah.
girl.
When I got one.
I'm somebody you need to be trying to talk to. People looking for me right now.
I used to like, you give certain people a code to put that behind. They never let me know who it is.
Let me know who it is. Yeah,
Or, the 911.
oh yeah.
Man, my mom and them found out I was a junior in high school, so I had a car. I really wanted to my dad. My mom and them was just like, look, if we paid you,
You
better
better call
call
me
me
back.
back.
Yeah. And it was crazy. I remember, beepers, only people that had beepers when I was growing up was doctors and police officers and stuff. And then I remember when it started becoming when normal people was getting it. And I wanted one so bad. And a friend of mine, Matter of fact, D from Lexington, he had I saw him and said, "Where you get that beeper from?" He said, "Man, you know, your mom can put it on the phone bill." Like, what?
Mama.
Please. That's the first beeper. GTE.
That's mine. GTE wireless.
I don't even know where this Spanish dude. I'm assuming his dad or somebody had like a wireless shop or something. That's the only way, because I got a beeper with a full number and everything,
Oh man.
Wow.
and I just gave him cash,
Wow.
Yeah,
and he just
had-
gave me the
he had some
number.
under the
It
table.
was probably some illegal type shit.
It was some
but
under the table type
Yeah.
shit going on.
I had a pager though.
Hey, that's all that mattered, boy.
That's it.
Like I said, when around time when I was trying to get one, either like you said, you talking about doctors or police, the dope boys
You
on the
said
one that
dope.
had
Right, right.
Because then as soon as I got my, you sell dope? No.
Yeah.
I just looking important. That's all.
And you know, back in the day when there was payphones, beep, oh, pull over.
Stayed on the payphone. I stayed on the payphone now. You ask a kid about a payphone, excuse me?
Excuse me, what is that? I think I saw a payphone in an airport one day. I don't know, maybe a year
I
ago,
ain't seen
and I
one
was
in
like,
years.
wow, a
And I literally used to
payphone.
use one every day. I ain't seen one in years.
Can you imagine now in the pandemic? No, who's using the?
I'm not touching that
No
shit.
one.
You know how many bums done picked up this phone and called somebody?
I feel like that about gas pumps now.
I mean, it's a necessary evil, bro.
Yeah, that's why you just sanitize
I
up.
got some gloves in the back. I put one of them on when I pump the gas now.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for what we on.
Yeah, go download that,
Check out that Ice Cube Death Certificate.
youngsters.
You won't be disappointed.
Word up, all three.
All right, you know what time it is. It's time for Who You Got. And this is our segment where we do pick'ems. This show we're gonna do things a little bit different because there's only one game to pick from, which is the Super Bowl.
Right.
But what we're gonna do is, like we've done before on some of our other shows, we're gonna do things just a little different. So we're gonna pick, we each are gonna give our top 3 Super Bowl defenses of all time, whoever your favorite defensive teams were, our top offensive teams for the Super Bowl, and then our top 3 all-time Super Bowl teams. So, you know, team in general, what was your favorite teams that you liked? And then we'll do our picks and give our analysis for the Super Bowl that's happening next 2 Sundays from down here in Tampa.
Word.
So we're gonna start with the top 3 Super Bowl defenses, and I'll kick it off. I decided to give an honorable mention with each one of mine, with each one of mine. So honorable mention for my top defense goes to the 2015 Broncos. That team with Von Miller,
Yeah.
Chris Harris, who else? DeMarcus
Akeem
Ware, Talib. Like, that defense carried. Peyton Manning was doing his thing offensively too. He ain't really fully broke down yet.
Now that defense
He was on his way.
Get-
that
all
that
the
defense
credit
gets
for that game. Just I'm talking about that
that game.
game.
Oh, the game.
that
Yeah,
Super
you're right.
Bowl,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Peyton
'cause
Manning
they,
didn't,
they shut Cam Newton down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning didn't contribute nothing
Right.
to that game.
So that's my honorable mention. My number 3 is my 02 Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Like that, you had a defense that whole year. You had a type of defense named after you, the Tampa 2.
Right.
My number 2 team is the 2000 Ravens. That really just the whole year they holding people like 10 points, 17 points.
I think statistically they're the greatest of all time.
They're the greatest of
Yeah.
all time statistically.
Yeah.
And you had Trent Dilfer. Like
You won the Super Bowl with Trent
with
Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer. Like I was watching
That says it all.
I was watching Club Shay Shay and Shannon was talking to Sap and they was talking about the 2 Super Bowl teams and Shannon was like, "Look, man, we just asked Trent not to turn it over.
Yeah.
That's all we want you to do. Don't turn the ball
And that
over."
was hard for him to do.
That was hard for Trent Dilfer to do, but he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The number 1 Super Bowl team I give to is the 86 Bears.
85.
85, that's
Yeah.
right. They won a championship in 86. 85 Bears. Man, listen, when you start ringing off Mike Singletary, Ron Rivera,
Wilbur Marshall.
Wilbur Marshall,
Refrigerator Perry,
Richard Dent.
Richard Dent. Like, you start naming, and then you look at the statistics.
Yeah.
They was holding bitch like the 10 points a game.
Yeah.
It was stupid. That Buddy Ryan was a hell of a
had that
defensive coach.
defense
Boy.
had the defense rolling.
Yeah,
And
he's
then-
the only coordinator to be carried off the field
The
at
only
the Super Bowl
coordinator.
with, and he deserved it because Mike Dicker didn't have nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with
And
that.
they shut Eric Dickerson down when Eric Dickerson was just running through the playoffs.
Yeah, man,
So that
he
those
did nothing.
nothing. So those are my defenses.
I'll go next. I mean, that was perfect, bro. Like except for the honorable mention, that was literally my top 3.
Who was your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is San Francisco in '94 when Deion got there his first
Yeah,
year.
the defense.
Okay.
That defense was ridiculous, bro. Deion basically he if it wasn't for Eric Davis and Merton Hanks, they owe what Pro Bowls they made to Deion
Oh, yeah, to
Sanders.
Deion Sanders.
Because Deion shut the entire half of the field down. So they had no choice but to show up on their side. But they did. I give them the credit they did. And that to me why I give them my honorable mention because they were so good. And honestly, Deion literally made a difference in that defense. Because they could not beat the Cowboys before Deion got there.
Right. Unlike my honorable mention of the Broncos, that offense is what carried that team. So that's why I didn't really give it to the 94.
But the reason why I gave it to them, not just because of the offense, but because of the fact that the way they ended the season.
They
when-
beat the shit out of the
Bruh,
they beat the shit out of the Chargers.
Tell me the Chargers team they were rolling.
With Junior Seau on that team, that deep,
And Natron Means running the ball, they were rolling.
and Steve Young went that thing and just tore them apart.
Embarrassed them, bro. Embarrassed them. But that's why I give my honorable mention just because of the athletes they had
Right.
on the field.
Right,
and
right.
they were literally that good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They just unfortunately was overshadowed by the offense.
Yeah.
But it was a very good defense.
It was. So like I said, I agree with you on the top 3. That's my honorable mention. What you got, Slow?
Same. Who's your honorable mention? Since
Honorable mention, and I was trying to look up so I made sure that I had the correct year. I was thinking about defenses, and I'm going back. This is the 5th Super Bowl for Tampa. Because I forgot about the Giants and Bills.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That
No,
was,
that was
91.
91.
That was 91.
When Whitney Houston sung the
And
national
so, because we said this was 4th, right?
anthem. This was the 4th one that since I.
Oh,
since we-
okay.
Fifth, if we're not gonna count the 81 or 82.
Why not?
Well, no, we can count that.
Yeah, I
one.
was just
You can
kidding.
count it. I was 6.
Honorable mention, the 1992 Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
The 1992 Dallas Cowboys.
They had some studs on that defense.
That was
Charles Haley. What did
Charles
he came over?
Haley.
That was when he got there.
When he got-
Yeah.
okay.
They had Ken Norton,
Russell Merrill.
Russell Merrill, and they just destroyed the Buffalo Bills.
Another team that unfortunately overshadowed by the offensive star power.
Yeah, offensive star
But
power.
that was a complete team.
They were
Right.
the most complete team offense, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because nobody really did a whole lot more than anybody else. Like if you look at, Michael Irvin's numbers, they're not
That mu-
astronomical.
No.
That
Troy-
much higher than Alvin Harper's number.
Right.
Right.
Troy Aikman never threw 30 touchdowns.
Or
in the
Jay
season.
Novacek numbers.
Right.
Emmitt
So-
was still carrying the ball 20,
Yeah.
25
But
times.
he had probably
They
the
had the
greatest offensive line ever.
You right.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to pay attention to them cats you just mentioned.
That's
Right.
a lot
Harper
of stuff. That's a lot of stuff you got to worry about.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
them lanes was wide open for Emmett. But that defense though, that defense,
That was
was
good. That was
yeah,
good. I mean, I hate the Cowboys.
That's
my
why
mom- my mom's a Cowboys fan.
My
I
no,
hate-
I'm
pained you to say it.
but like B said, I'm a football fan first,
Right.
and then I'm a Washington fan second. So I can't sit here and not give credit where credit is due.
Right.
The
Exactly.
defense was awesome, but the 3 that you picked, how can you pick
Gotcha.
against
Right.
those?
All right, well, let's see if we can keep this theme going then. We're going with the top 3 Super Bowl offenses, and I think we might differ on this. So my honorable mention is actually that 93 Cowboys team, top 3 Super Bowl offenses. You start reeling off like the Hall of Famers, and
Yeah.
you look at that team and like, damn, they was running through people.
Right.
Yeah.
My number 3 is the 2019 Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes coming out party. They was down 10-0 in San Francisco, and next thing you know,
Game over.
like we've
Yeah.
been seeing since Patrick Mahomes took over.
Well, they did that the whole playoffs. They
The
got
whole
down, and
the Texans.
that game was
Yeah.
ridiculous. They was down
They
24-0.
24-0. They should have lost that game. And then you come back and score 40 some points. It's like, okay, I'm gonna stop playing with y'all.
Yeah.
2019 Chiefs number 3. Number 2 for me is the 94 49ers.
It's a hell of a team.
It's a hell of a team. The way they put it on the Chargers that year in the Super Bowl. I'm
Steve
like,
Young, Ricky Waters.
they pulling the monkey off Steve Young
Right.
back.
Oh man.
The number 1, which it might be on the list where we agree, is the 99 Rams, the greatest show on turf.
Another
that
team.
was mine.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a Hall of Fame. Marshall Faulk, Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce.
Torrey Holt should be in the Hall of Fame. Isaac Bruce should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Isaac King.
The defense did just
Just
enough.
Just what they needed
What
to
we
do.
was just talking about with the Chiefs.
Yeah. I'll go get, man. We're pretty similar.
Okay.
Pretty similar again. For offenses, my honorable mention was kind of tough. Just kind of figure out, you know what I'm saying? Because my 3 was pretty easy to pick. But the honorable mention is for a team that actually didn't win the Super Bowl, and it wasn't because the offense wasn't good. They just couldn't put it together in the Super Bowl. But those Bills teams that went to 4 straight.
Yes, even though I hated them, but
I
you gotta
couldn't
tip your
stand
hat,
them, but
right.
man, you got to tip your hat to those offenses.
Yeah,
bro.
that K gun.
It was ridiculous.
Look, Jim Kelly was out there slinging that thing, man.
And Thurman Thomas was running the air out of it too. Because that's another one that you had to worry about what's on the outside.
Right.
Andre Reed out there, and he was able to get those lanes. So that was my honorable mention.
That's the one thing I feel bad. Like they went 4 times and couldn't never get it.
Get it.
Yeah, but they're my honorable mention. So
Okay.
my number 3 offense of all time, I got to go back to San Francisco team that was led by Joe Montana.
94, 84?
No.
87?
87.
Yeah.
That 87 offense was stupid, bro.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them cats. I think, Joe and Jerry obviously get a lot of the credit for a lot of what they did, but they couldn't have done nothing. They could have done hardly none of that without Tom Rathman, without Roger
Right.
Craig, without Brent Jones. You know what I'm saying? Without the offensive line they had. They had some studs up front. So that to me was a hell of an offense. Think about what they did to the Broncos in the Super Bowl that year.
Hurt poor John Elway.
Stupid. So that was my number 3. My number 2, my number 1 is just like it's the greatest show on turf. I mean, you can't really go against what they did. And
The one hiccup they had was the Bucks.
That's it.
And that was an all-time great defensive team. Like that team next year won the Super Bowl. So you really.
And for my number 2 in the middle, I sandwiched with that '94 San Francisco team. Like I said, 'cause they was this. It was crazy that Jerry was still there,
Right.
still holding
And
it
Montana
down.
had left.
Right, Montana was gone. Roger Craig was old, but they replaced him with somebody that was very, very similar to Ricky Waters. People don't know how good Ricky Waters was. He don't get the credit that he deserved. Jerry was still out there on the other side, killing it on the outside. And Steve Young, like you didn't think that somebody was gonna come in and be as good as Joe.
And they got it.
It was.
Another one that slipped through the Bucks'
Well,
hand.
Yeah. So that's my top 3. So Rams, San Francisco '94, and San Francisco '87.
87.
Yeah.
Great picks. I was listening to you guys and I said, break up the monotony a little bit. Actually, my honorable mention, and I'm gonna take the bitch mode to it. This team didn't even make the Super Bowl, and that was the Vikings of
Randy Moss when they lost in the
When Randall
championship.
Cunningham,
that.
they was 15-1.
I'm not a Vikings fan, but that broke my heart.
Mine too, because I wanted it for Randall Cunningham.
Right.
And Dennis Green,
Yeah.
he would have been the first black coach at that
Oh
time.
man, yeah.
But
And they lost to who that year?
the Atlanta Falcons.
On a field goal.
Morton Anderson.
He hadn't missed.
a field goal. Not Morton. It was Chris Anderson. I knew it was Anderson.
I forget his name. Hadn't missed a field goal
All
all
year.
year long, and he misses one to send him to the Super Bowl. Sick.
Just to break up the monotony. Number 3 offense for me, and it's going to be my team, the 1991 Washington Redskins.
I knew that was coming.
Our offense
They were good.
was off the chain that year.
I think Bob Rippon was on steroids that year.
he just played out of his mind.
Out of his
'cause
mind,
that was
bro.
outside of that.
Yeah.
Now, we talking about just that game, or we talking
I was doing specifically the Super Bowl.
the Super Bowl? Okay,
Yeah.
that changes a lot because
Well, I mean, I took into account what they did throughout the year as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we're going game, then
That's
go
how.
back
That's
to the
how.
Washington Redskins, the 1987 Washington Redskins, Doug Williams.
Doug Wil-Wams. Did we tell that story?
You gotta tell you done brought up Doug Wil-Wams now, so the folks need to know
My
the story
bad, man.
behind
I'm
Doug.
gonna let him tell me
The story of
of my
Doug,
pain.
Doug Wil-Wams.
Okay, so this was early 2000s, around the time where throwback jerseys was
The
big.
Mitchell and Ness was huge.
You couldn't just go online and buy one. You had, you know what I'm saying, you had to find somebody that could get you one at the time. So me and Sage used to work with this cat who claimed he was the plug on the throwbacks. Like he was gonna hook everybody up that had the bread. Okay. He suckered us, right? Because he showed up one day. He was like, Chuck, man, I got this Derek Thomas jersey for you. So I'm like, bet, bring it. I think it was $75 I gave for it. He gets this and wrapped in plastic. Legit. I still have it to this day.
I was gonna say you still got the jersey?
Still got it. Legit to this day. So, of course, Said wants Doug Williams. You know what I'm saying?
Can you get me Doug Williams?
Hook me up with a Doug Williams.
And I pay you.
What? Said was ready, but I know he was all he talked
He was gonna
about.
charge me $100.
All he was talking about was getting this Doug Williams, boy. My boy showed up with that Doug Williams. Said opened it up, turned it around. It said Wil-Wams on the back.
How do they spell Williams, dog?
It was WILLWAMS.
When I tell you, I cried.
Doug
I
Wil-Wams.
thought my eyes was playing tricks on me. I was like,
It was like when Hustle Man showed up with the Woody Hutton. Bruh, I cried. Because all Sid was talking about was this Doug Williams and how he was going to be killing him.
I was gonna get the fit right out.
Oh,
Yeah, ready to
Like,
that.
he was going to kill him with the Doug Williams at
To
work.
that bitch said Wil-Wams.
Man, I cried.
He was so embarrassed.
oh,
I'm crying
so
now.
ashamed.
I've heard this story like 4 or 5 times and I cry every fucking time.
He was so ashamed.
I was so hurt myself.
He
'cause I
did the
was like,
same thing with the damn Gale Sayers he was trying to sell me. He showed up, the Gale Sayers Bears jersey was black. And it had Sayers on the back.
Sayers on the back, and it had the
And it had
NFL
the NFL logo right at the neck.
that
I'm
had
like,
just
bruh,
started, like what,
I'm like,
the late
bruh,
90s?
is Gale still playing? Like, and dog, he showed up to work and walked up to me like he was like this. Like,
I got it.
nigga, you see it.
You see
You
it.
see this
I
Gale
wonder what
Sayers?
Bruce is doing now.
Oh my god! But like I said, he came through that one time when he showed me that Derek Thomas said was sold. He was like, "Yep, this Doug Williams is gonna kill him, boy.
Legit.
Gonna kill him."
He got it.
Until
Yeah,
it
because I was so jealous of his Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas was beautiful.
tough. Oh yeah, wait till my Doug Williams comes.
Doug Wil-Wams.
Doug
And, you know,
Wil-Wams.
because see, I had to wait extra long too. So
Yeah.
I just know my
So Sam was thinking, "Oh man, mine gonna be fresh off the press, baby." You hear me?
He hit you with the Doug Wil-Wams, dog.
Wil-Wams.
I cried. My bad, dog. Give us your number one. Give us your number one offense, bro.
Number one offense was another team that did not win the Super Bowl, and I took this actually for accumulation of the season was the 2007 New England Patriots.
That team put up numbers.
They whooped people's ass that year. They put up 50. I don't know how many times. You know, in the NFL, they was averaging 40 points a game.
Bro, they was wearing people out.
Out.
That was Randy.
Randy
doing
was
whatever
just,
he wanted.
I
Right?
think Randy, is it still the record?
23.
23 touchdowns?
Yeah. No, I don't think anybody caught it yet.
No, Edelman wasn't there. That was
No,
Wes Welker.
Welker was
Welker
on that team.
Yes, Wes Welker. So Wes Welker, I think he had like 110 catches.
Dog, they was putting up numbers. They was unstoppable until they ran into their
unstoppable.
nemesis, the New York Giants.
right.
Yeah, man. I'll never forget, man. God bless the dead. And Riche was telling the story about when they signed Randy Moss. You know, Riche was at the time.
I remember that night we hung out. He
Riche said Riche was, you know, he was technically the number one receiver, you know, at the time, you know what I'm saying, the year before Randy got there. And he said the coach came to him after the season, he was like, yeah, so you know, we're gonna sign Randy, you know, but we're gonna give you guys, you know, give you a chance to kind of battle it out. You know, who's gonna be the number one receiver. Riche was like, man, just trade me somewhere I can go play down. Like, y'all know good and hell
Well,
well.
I'm not for the battle with Randy Moss. You know this nigga's better than me.
Better, yeah.
I know who I'm dealing with.
Ricochet was like, man, don't play with me, man. Just send me somewhere. If you're gonna release me, just release me or trade me somewhere where I can go play.
You know what's funny story about what Ricochet told? I'm pretty sure he told you that, but I remember that night we all hung out, went to the casino, and went out.
This is Ricochet Caldwell.
Caldwell, yeah.
God bless,
God bless
those
his
who
dead.
know.
Yeah.
Florida Gator, great. And
You know, he's with the Redskins.
Yeah.
I think he left the Redskins right after the Patriots.
Yeah. He was
And
that.
I remember him, because I told him I was a fan, and he was telling him, and I remember him telling me that, Santana Moss takes shots of Hennessy before the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And last year, Clinton Portis was telling the story.
He used to do the same
and I
thing.
said, wow. I said, I remember learning this years ago.
Another crazy story is that when Ricochet was in Washington, God bless the dead as well, he used to tell a story all the time about Sean Taylor would run to the facility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
He would run
wouldn't
from his
drive,
apartment.
and he's like, it was several miles, bro. Like it wasn't like he was just around the corner. Sean
So
Taylor,
I see why that Miami team, them motherfuckers just built different, man.
yeah. And we told that story about Sean Taylor, man.
That makes sense.
Right. He was like, man, that cat used to run to the facility.
Okay.
But those are my offenses.
Okay. All right. So now we're gonna go to our top 3 Super Bowl teams. I know this is where we'll definitely have some difference of opinions. My honorable mention is that 2015 Broncos. For Super Bowl teams all time, because what they did they went through Cam Newton, Roethlisberger, and Tom Brady,
yeah.
that same year in the playoffs. Before the end of the season, before Peyton Manning got hurt, their offense was putting up numbers.
Yeah.
Like they were scoring points, and the defense was doing what they're doing. So for them to come to this defense knowing Peyton Manning won that 100%, and to go in and shut the league MVP and Cam Newton down, like we ain't talking about the hurt Cam Newton y'all seeing now. We talking about peak Cam Newton.
Right.
To shut him down, and the game was
MVP Cam
MVP Cam Newton. It was like what 15-10 or something like the score of that game. It was a low scoring game. So
Yeah.
that's my honorable mention. Number 3, only because the feat itself has never been done, ever, is the 72 Dolphins. They went 14-0.
Gotta give it to him.
You got to give it to them. If they're not on your top 3 list of all-time Super Bowl teams, something's wrong with you. Like you'll never see another NFL. And if you do see another NFL team go undefeated in 16 games and through the playoffs, granted they played a couple less games, but still to go undefeated in the NFL
Right.
is a feat.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that nobody's done it since 1972,
No.
that should tell you how pretty special that team is.
Yeah.
My number 2 team, and this is memorable for me because being a black man in the country, and a young black kid in 1987-88 to see these Redskins, to see a black quarterback going and win this game and get the MVP. Like the community had Doug Williams t-shirts.
Yes.
It was huge.
Yes.
It was huge for us.
I remember being at my friend Deldrin's house, and this was like we just kind of met in school, but our parents, we played baseball together. They the ones that got me started playing baseball because he was playing baseball in Temple Terrace. So we went to their house for a Super Bowl party, and they had pools and all this stuff. Like that was my first introduction to a Super Bowl party, and everybody there was rooting for the Redskins because Doug Williams was on the team, and to win the MVP, we made it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So that's that. And of course, my number 1 Super Bowl team is 2002 Buccaneers. Nobody thought we could do it, but they did it. John Gruden came in here and got that offense rolling on the level of the defense. And once everything started clicking towards the end of the season, foreshadowing, we took it on to the ship. Told them Raiders up. I don't give a damn if they son had a bipolar episode. It was out fucking hoes until one of the night before. My boys came through and played.
Yeah.
So that's my top 3 teams.
Okay, cool. I didn't even have no honorable mention
Okay.
for this. I'm just gonna get right into my top 3. My number 3, 93 Cowboys.
Okay.
Just because of, like I said, we talked about it earlier, what they had
Right.
on that offense and
Gotta
on that
give it to
defense. It was a tough team to pick against.
That was the 3rd championship, because they won 2. They won back to back, right?
No, that 93 started their
93,
run.
Now they started running.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, correction, I do have an honorable mention. My bad. But they're my number 3. I'll go back to my honorable mention real quick. My honorable mention goes to that Giants team that beat your 2000.
Yeah.
Was it 2007?
Mm-hmm.
Patriots.
Yeah.
Just because they beat an undefeated team.
Right.
Now now top to bottom, that team was horrible. They probably had no business being in the playoffs, but they turned it on when they needed to, and they
Bruh.
beat the arguably one of the greatest offenses we've ever seen.
That's probably one of the greatest 4-man pass rushes you've ever seen. When they put that NASCAR unit on the field with Justin Tuck
And
Human Uria,
wasn't
straight
nothing
in,
no one could do about it.
nothing. When you could rush 4
And drop everybody
and
else
drop
back.
everybody back in cover, what you gonna do?
The Patriots thought they couldn't do nothing.
They
Even
couldn't
with
do
Randy
nothing.
Moss, they couldn't do nothing. So that's my honorable mention team, just because of the feat in the Super Bowl, what they did, not because of what they did.
Eli, you just ain't got to lose this game.
Right.
That's it. So that's my honorable mention. 93 Cowboys. My number 2 team is the 85 Bears, just because they stood out so much to me, because I was a huge Walter Payton fan. At the time, I was a running back before I focused only on defense. So I always had to wear 34. Idolized him. Had rules.
I was going to say, you had your kangaroos.
Had some rules.
Had your lunch money in the
With your pocket, you could be able to. And then when they up first, they had the Velcro. Then you be able to upgrade. After a while, they had a zipper on the side too. Had some rules. Idolized Walter Payton. So that 85 Bears team was somebody that I always loved. And number 1, I gotta give it to our Bucks too.
Yeah.
I was probably the only person that wasn't at some kind of a party that day.
I had to go to work.
Bro, I was at home alone watching that game. Watched it by myself. Everybody went to a party. I didn't feel like going. I never get. Me and Crystal was dating at the time, and she came over with some Moet. Me and her sat and watched the game together. But that like you said,
Y'all
nobody
had
thought.
a romantic Super Bowl.
Like
I said, nobody thought we could do it,
and we did it.
and we did it, and it was huge for the city.
I was driving to work because that's when I was working at. So I was Haynes Service, and I was working at 11 to 7 at night. And this was right before, like a year before we got together and started coaching. So I'm driving, like I was able to catch most of the game. I'm thinking like the last minute or 2 minutes, so I couldn't watch because I had to drive to work. But dog, I'm driving down Temple Terrace Highway through Temple Terrace, and everybody's blowing their horns. Like, that was a special moment. I always remember that, man. Like, first, my team won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. That was so big, like I said, just for us growing up and
As Bucks fans, and going through that losing every
getting
year.
the free tickets on Friday just because you played high school football,
Right.
going to the game and sitting wherever you wanted to sit because there was
didn't
nobody
want
was
to-
there. Always going and literally going and sitting behind the visiting team. We didn't give a damn what the Bucks was doing on our side, so that was huge. So I got to give it to the 2002 Bucks as my number 1.
All right. For me, the honorable mention, it pains me to say it, kind of piggybacking off of what you said, but this is the 2011 Giants team that beat the Patriots, that went wild card, and they had to go on the road. They went to beat Green Bay, and it's almost kind of what the Bucks are doing. They went to Green Bay, beat Green
I
Bay.
remember it was freezing.
I think they may have to beat the Giants. I can't remember the other two teams, but to get to the Super Bowl, to beat a still very good Patriots team, they was 13-3.
Yeah.
They beat the Patriots team. That's my honorable mention. My other team is, unfortunately, I'm gonna pick a team that lost the game, but this team was guts and glory. It was 1999 Tennessee Titans with Ed McNair.
Yeah, man.
It was a yard away.
That was tough.
Yeah, I wanted Air to win that Super Bowl
Yeah,
so bad.
You know,
They was talking up. I just ain't like it. They was talking up the Rams.
yeah,
Rams
exactly.
this, Ram that.
I wanted him to win just because he was the cat from Alcorn State
Right.
that nobody expected to even be in that
He
position.
won the co-MVP that year with Peyton Manning.
Yes.
Yes.
And then which I think he got robbed.
He did.
Because, come on, co-MVP, man. And not to jump off subject, but when he passed, that really bothered me.
Me too.
You know, I never give 4th of July.
Because I was living up there at the time when it happened, and it was almost like it wasn't real.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like I was like, ain't no way.
Look, man, that's why I can't cheat. It take too much work, and then somebody kill me and my legacy stain.
I can't handle that kind of stress.
I ain't got
it's
time
too
for
much
all that.
pressure.
It's too
Yeah.
much work.
But anyway, but
Gotta
yeah,
keep
that
our
was
lives and shit.
that still bothers me to this day.
Yeah, it bothers me. That was 2.
Number 1.
Number 1 is the 1991 Washington Redskins.
You're not biased at all.
No,
No, not at all.
we tore ass that year.
Y'all did. I give it to you. Y'all did. Y'all had.
I remember
they had
the
a stick.
first game we played. It was that's when Sunday Night Football had started, but it was on. This is for you youngsters. It was on TNT. You remember that?
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Nitro. They used to call it.
Monday Nitro. I remember.
And we played the Detroit Lions, and we blasted them 38-0. And I said, we're gonna tear ass this year. We did. We went 14-2. Took it all away.
It was a team. They had a team. I never forget that team. They was good.
That was. Oh, that's some good picks, fellas. All right.
So we get into the game now?
We get into the game. So the one pick, I'll keep it short. Last week, all three of us split 1-1. I picked the Bucks over the Packers. Y'all picked the Packers, and both of y'all picked the Chiefs over the Bills. I picked the Bills.
So no Kane.
No King this week, which for the year brings you two still tied at 11-9. I'm at 13-7. So that's where the overall standings is. So there's really no way I could lose.
Oh man, just get to the pick for this week, bro.
I'll wear my crown next
Pick
week.
a tie.
Pick a tiebreaker?
No, just this game gonna end up in the tie. Well, no, it can't end up in the tie. That's right. Super Bowl.
Anyway, so this gets down to the nitty gritty. So our Super Bowl picks got my Bucks, because Chuck jumped off the team when they got rid of J-Dub.
Yeah.
Versus the Chiefs, who are rolling. I'll start us off. Of course, you know I'm going to go with my Buccaneers, but my keys to...
What?
Well, I mean, you really... I think just from basically seeing, you know, how they've been playing this playoff run, the defense is playing good and really putting the offense in positions to win and capitalize. And the offensive line is protecting Tom Brady for the most part. He's being clean in a lot of games. And so with that being said, if you can keep Tom Brady clean, the defense, if they can do something special or at least get to Patrick Mahomes, I think we'll pull it out. So I'm looking for big games from the defensive ends with the tackles being out for the Chiefs, and I'm looking for the offense to not mess it up and run the ball more than people probably think they're going to do. So I got the Bucks. It's going to be a good game, a close game. Maybe they'll pull it out by a field goal, maybe even a touchdown. I'm going to the Bucks.
It's actually it's a tough pick to make, to be honest with you, because of all the different factors. Like you said, Kansas City's out there too, best tackles. The strength of Bucks front four is Barrett and JPP. So it's tough. Like I said, Kansas City's gonna have to get pressure on Tom Brady. As we all have been able to see this season, when he's pressured, he's a below average quarterback. With pressure in his face, he's below average quarterback.
No pressure.
He'll start just throwing it.
Right.
He
will pick them apart if
he's got time.
If he's got time. However, I think that Kansas City will put enough pressure in enough different situations to be able to kind of keep him off his game a little bit. And I just don't think. I think if they're able to do that, as good as the Bucs defense has been playing, I don't think that they have enough to keep up with that offense. And I'm not necessarily going by what happened earlier in the season. If we had went by that, nobody would pick the
They would have
Bucs.
been out when the Saints.
Right, nobody would have picked them. But I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think we're going to run into a situation similar to Buffalo. It's not going to be as bad, but it's going to be some situation where the Bucs may have to settle for a field goal here or there, and Kansas City's going to score a touchdown.
That's why I say the defense is going to have to play. It's going to have to be a special night for the defense.
Defense is going to have to score, in my opinion.
Okay.
The defense is going to have to score, not just get turnovers. They're probably going to have to score
To win the game.
to win the game. So I'm gonna pick the Chiefs in a very close game.
Okay.
No more than one score. I'm gonna give them a one-score win. If they score more than that, I'll be surprised just because of how good that Bucs defense is and how much faith I have in Todd Bowles. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Bruce Arians for being the only coach to have 3 black coordinators on his staff, as well as women on his staff. I love him to death for that.
He's loyal. Bruce Arians is loyal.
Yeah.
Bruce is a good dude, man. If you ever get a chance to go back, I think it was on Real Sports. He did an interview. He talked about
Growing up.
his
Yeah.
best friend being a black man.
And his parents had an issue with it and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
His football life story was pretty good too.
yeah. So I'm gonna give it to the Chiefs. Very close, but I give them a 1-score win.
Bucks win, you coming back over?
No,
Not until Brady leaves.
exactly.
Brady leaves, you come back over.
To me, let me tell you my main issue, dog. For one, like I said, they did all this stuff for this 43-year quarterback and didn't do it for the young cat. And to me, even if they win, they just feel like the Florida Marlins to me when they bought the World Series one year.
This is a bought team.
Yeah, and it's like it kind of loses its. It kind of to me, as much as I love the city and want us to win, it just kind of loses its luster when we essentially pay for it.
But
You
ain't
know what I'm
nobody seeing that. They just
No,
totally happy.
right. So
Yeah, because it's the Bucks and they about to win the Super Bowl. I'd hate what they did to James too and didn't give him the opportunity. But I'm a fan. I'm a rock with my team.
Right.
like I said, just to me, it kind of loses.
I
Its
think
luster a little.
we all hate the bandwagon fans more than we do.
Oh, yeah, I
the
stressed that
diehard
last
fans.
I hate the bandwagon fans, and I hate the conversation now about is Tom Brady the greatest athlete of all time?
We talk
Are
about
we
shit.
serious? Like,
Athlete? Hell no.
not even close. Is he the winningest?
Winningest quarterback ever?
Sure.
Maybe the greatest champion?
Right. Like
All day.
I had a back and forth with one of our followers on Twitter. I'm sorry, I apologize, bro. I can't think of his name right now, but I'll shout him out for sure once it comes back up. But he told me that Brady was not only the greatest quarterback of all time, but he was like the greatest leader of men of all time.
I remember that.
And I was like, bro, what are you basing that on? And he talked about how, he rallied the troops and a lot of comeback wins and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, to be honest with you, I said, that a leader of men doesn't cuss out his teammates on his way to the side and berate them. He don't cuss out his quarterback coach when him and Bill O'Brien was going back and forth that year. And see, he also doesn't pout when he loses and not shake the other quarterback's hand at the end of the game like he did, 3 times this year.
Right.
I said, bro, I hate the Gators, but Tim Tebow is a better leader of men than Tom Brady has shown in these situations. So I don't want to hear about leader of men. I don't want to hear about greatest athlete because there's so many cats more athletic than Tom Brady
Tom Brady is not athletic
at all. At all.
He just don't take hits. He figured out what works for his
Yeah.
body and takes care of his body.
The NFL figured out a way to keep him upright so they can ride him as long as they
Ever
could.
since he got his leg
The
broken.
NFL is riding Tom Brady the same way the NBA rode Mike all the way to Washington. And they should have probably got off of that bandwagon and got on Kobe as much as I love Mike because
Right.
it was over.
That's
and
true.
We're still trying to hold on to him to be the face of our league. And that's why all these changes for quarterback has been made. Tom Brady you get roughing the passer for doing him like this.
And
get off.
I'm here for it. Go Bucks. What you got?
I'm gonna get off it. What you got?
Patrick Mahomes. He since he taken over, just looking at him, like I always stress, being an offensive coach, he just he is Aaron Rodgers with legs. Aaron Rodgers to me has the best arm talent, throwing angles, and then here comes this kid.
But his arm is stronger.
Yeah, his arm is strong. That's what I'm saying. This kid took it to the next level.
Yeah.
The offense is just damn near unstoppable. And I totally agree with both of you guys. The Bucks defense got to step up in this game. It's going to be a chess match between Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy versus Todd Bowles. Who's going to come up with the better plan?
Yeah.
But it's something about this Tampa team that's they finding ways to win.
It's
the
hard
game.
to pick against.
And that's why I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go with Tampa. And it's going to be, for some reason, they're coming up with the defense is coming. Because I know when we were picking last week and I picked the Packers and I said, Tampa defense is not going to come up with the turnovers. They did. Patrick Mahomes don't turn the ball over. But for some reason, this Tampa team finds a way to get turnovers.
Yeah.
So they rolling right now. And like I said, I'm an NFL fan, football fan first. I tip my hat. It's going to be hard to stomach this city. But
And all the sports shows.
yeah, I have to be real and honest. I have to go with the Bucks. It's crazy that on the job, working for people out of state. And, oh, congratulations on your Bucks. They're not mine. I just live here.
They beat us wild card weekend.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So they can go to hell. But I'm just gonna pick them.
It's hard to pick against them. It is.
But I believe we should come up with a tiebreaker, like points or something.
Okay.
I say Kansas City's not gonna win by no more than 10 points.
Tiebreakers between y'all, right?
Well, tiebreaker between me and you, because
Because
if he wins by himself.
I'm
If
both
Kansas
y'all
City
lose.
wins, he
I know
won.
you. I know you think about overall.
Oh, okay.
We're thinking about for this week.
for this week. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
What's your score?
I say total points.
Total points. Okay. I'm
That's tough.
I'm
That's
cool
tough.
with that. I'm cool with that. I'm not even gonna look at the
Without
line.
going over.
Without going over. I'm not even looking at the line.
60.
Hell no.
That's too much.
That's too much.
What?
Yeah. It ain't 60. Because if it's 60, that means the Bucks are scoring like 14. And the Chiefs are getting like damn near 30, 35, 40
Could be
points.
35, 31.
Could be.
That's 66 points.
I don't think it's
It'll
happening.
be a 30-24 game, 31-24.
I'm saying the score will be not being the score. Be less than 45 points.
Less than 45?
Less than 45 score.
I'm going to say 55. 55 points.
Y'all better than me. I would say more than that.
I wanted to say I just don't want to, because you know how the NFL is. You know how it is when you thinking this and that, and,
Right.
and
Thinking
it
it's gonna
turns
be a
out to
high
be.
scoring game and then
I didn't think the Packers game was going to be as high scoring it was.
Yeah.
next
I
thing,
think that's what they want.
next thing you know
The
you got
NFL wants it to be a high scoring game.
next thing you know you got a Panthers Patriots Super Bowl.
Right. Oh my God.
I'm telling you.
No Rams Patriots.
Was that?
That was what 9 the
That was
couple
right
years
after.
ago.
No, I got it. You got a Bucks Rams NFC Championship score.
Oh. Now that'll be just awful.
I'm telling you, man, I think the NFL wants it to be high scoring. They want it to
that's
be a old goat versus the young goat battle. They want it to be a shootout. Watch. I'm a
Tom Brady's arm can't handle a shootout.
I'm a conspiracy theorist when it comes to the NFL. They're gonna
And you
make
have a
that,
right to be.
They're gonna make that game what they need it to be. After COVID and everything that's going on in the city, they need this game to
be exciting,
high flying shootout. That's what they need this game to be. I feel like the NFL is going. They are having these meetings right now with this staff. The referees is going to ref this game. They're going to make this game a shootout.
Let 'em play.
They have to.
Let them play.
Exactly. They
Well,
got to.
what bothered me in Sunday's game were they were pretty much letting them play, but then you're going to call this crucial call down the stretch.
Man.
That didn't win. I mean, that didn't make them lose the game.
We're going to let them play, but we also need Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Anyway, so that's not picks. Y'all ain't finna keep bashing my boys.
I ain't gonna bash you, but I am like I said,
I'm just being real.
I believe
Now-
a lot of NFL Super Bowls at the right times
And 18
have been kind of rigged based on the scenario. Like the Patriots beat the Rams right after 9/11. We needed some Patriots with a backup quarterback to beat the greatest show on turf.
And that's gonna do it for who we got. Tune in next episode when we find out how everything went down.
I'm just saying.
And now we're gonna throw it to my man here, Chuck, for the lady this week. And who's your lady? Who's that lady?
All right, who's that lady this week? We're gonna keep with the football theme. Young lady just recently became the first ever full-time African American coach in the NFL. Female
woman coach.
in the NFL. Her name is Jennifer King. So I got a lot because she's got a great history here. So this is probably one of our longest Who's That Ladies, but I got a lot to get into. So Jennifer King was born on August 6, 1984 in Eden, North Carolina. After graduating from Rockingham County High School, she went on to be a 4-year starter in softball at Guilford College, and she graduated with a degree in sports management. From there, she went on and she actually played in the Women's Football Alliance as a quarterback for the Carolina Phoenix. She was a DB and a wide receiver for the New York Sharks, and she finished her career as a safety for the DC Divas. And like I said, I actually coached in that same league she played in, and it's not nothing to mess with. These ladies take the game serious. It's full contact football. They have personal trainers. It's the real deal. As a football fan, you would love to be able to watch it because I watched the Super Bowl between Dallas and Chicago. It was one of the greatest football games I've ever watched in person. But anyway, let's get back to Miss Jennifer. Now, as she was playing in this football career, all that entire time, she was also an assistant basketball coach at Greensboro College. She was there from 2006 to 2017. And then she was hired as a head coach at Johnson & Wales, where she took a program that existed only for 2 years prior, and they only won 7 games the previous season. In 2 years, she won a national championship with them as a coach. In 2018, she attended the NFL Women's Forum, where she met Ron Rivera, and the rest was history from there. She was hired as an intern in 2018 with the Panthers, and then she got her first full-time coaching gig as assistant wide receiver and special team coach for the Arizona Hotshots of the AAF. Remember, that was
Right.
a league that kind of folded. Once it did, she returned back to the Panthers as an intern working with the running backs. After a quick stop in Dartmouth as an offensive assistant, she joined the Washington football team when Ron Rivera came back. And in 2020, again, she was an intern working for the running backs. And then earlier this month, she was promoted to assistant running backs coach. Again, like I said, becoming the first black woman to be a full-time coach in NFL history. So, huge, fellas. She paid her dues. She went through the ranks. Obviously, she's a phenomenal athlete. She played softball in college and then played football semi-professionally for women. So, shout out to Jennifer King. We salute you here at the OG Sports Show.
Especially because you're on the Washington football team.
Give this young lady her flowers. Support her in what she's doing because she's doing big things. So, that's going to wrap up week 7, fellas. Super Bowl week. What y'all doing for the Super Bowl? I'm going to be at the house.
I already told y'all what I'm doing.
I'm going to air fry some wings and just sit down and watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure somebody have something I may go over, but I don't want to be anywhere near the Super Bowl festivities. I'm too old for that now.
I'll be making sure I'm supporting the folks that make sure y'all network is up so y'all can get on Snapchat and Twitter and all this other shit.
Good looking out.
Yeah,
Appreciate you,
whatever,
fellas.
man. Oh, yeah, thanks.
All right. Well, that's it, y'all. We're going to catch up with y'all next time. Take it easy.
Peace. Where we at?
So my man Claude tired as
Y'all
hell.
about pushing about 140.
You